What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here once again. So happy Friday. I hope y'all are doing well. Hope your Friday is going great. So I am back, you guys. Now, today, I'm not going to keep y'all too long because I got some stuff I need to handle, but we definitely gonna get into the topic, okay? So as you come into the building per usual, make sure you guys hit the like button. That helps the channel out, y'all. Make sure y'all are hitting the like button as you come in. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed and you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, okay? And also turn on your notification bell or click that bell so that you'll be notified when I go live or post new content. Also, before I continue to keep talking, put a 1 in the chat per usual just to make sure that the sound is good. Y'all let me know if the sound is good before we proceed. Also, if you are interested in supporting the channel via channel membership, go ahead and join the channel membership. That definitely helps the channel as well. So put a 1 in the chat. There we go. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for the ones in the chat. I see y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate y'all per usual. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, you guys. Shout out. Oh, also, I am streaming on my second channel. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to the second channel. It's what people would consider a backup channel, you know, because YouTube, you never know, but I was demonetized for 3 months, so anything can happen. But definitely go over and subscribe to the second channel, you guys. And follow me on Twitch if you haven't already. And I think that's it, but I'm definitely live on this channel, the second channel, and Twitch as well. So make sure you go over and subscribe to that channel if you haven't already. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody in the building. Make sure you guys chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this topic once we get started. Shout out to Lorenzo Redman, Successful MD. What's going on? Hope all is well. Is it Prince 89? I hope I'm saying that right. Ryan Wetlow, Divine Photos, what's going on? LD, Classic Perspective, what's going on? Stephen Johnson, Kyle Goodman, Gina's Homely Mills. Thank you so much for being here, Gina. How are you? I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for being here. Dwayne Jackson, Black Brandy Williams, Shamari Fears. I think I'm saying that right. Thank you so much for being here. And shout out to Dwayne Jackson for becoming a YouTube member. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. That definitely helps the channel out. I appreciate you once again. Shout out to my moderator, Successful MD, and the few moderators I have. Shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for doing a good job at moderating. I appreciate you. Successful MD, thank you so much. Definitely follow me on Twitch, you guys. I'm gonna start trying to do, y'all, listen. There's so much that I want to do before we get into it. I know I'm talking too much. Let me know if I'm talking too much. Y'all can let me know if I'm talking too much, please, because I can get carried away. And before we get into the video, I'm trying to get into Patreon. It's just I have a lot to do, a lot on my plate, but I really want to bring more content in different ways. So I definitely want to start posting more on the membership and also Patreon as well. Follow me on Patreon if you want to support in that way. But I definitely want to start getting content on other platforms as well. So because we're going to start branching off to other areas, not just YouTube. And I definitely want you guys to continue to support in those areas if you can as well. But I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me so far, whether you like the video, share the video, donated, whatever. I appreciate everything that you guys have done to support the channel. Trust me, I do. So thank y'all so much for that. Let's see here. What else I want to say? I think that's probably it. Thank y'all. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. So let's get into this, y'all, because I don't want to keep y'all too long today. Let's go ahead and get into the title. So the title says single independent women are failing, but who failed them? And we've had this conversation before on this channel about who's at fault, who's to blame for the state of the Black community. Is it, some say it's the men's fault, the men are the problem with the community because they're the ones, getting all the women pregnant and making them single mothers, and then they're running from their responsibilities. Some say it's the women's responsibility. We hear women say all the time, my body, my choice. And it seems to me that a lot of them are making choices with their bodies that are not beneficial to them or the community. So it's a mixture of people who have a difference of opinions when it comes to who's at fault, who's the problem, and it seems to be focused mainly on whether it's the man fault or whether it's the woman fault. But what we don't hear too often, which we don't hear as much of the fault being placed on the single parents who raise these children, the single parent or the two parents, because there are some cases where there are two parent households, but those they're still taught to be independent and they don't, not focus on marriage or families. That happens too. So, but I don't hear, and y'all let me know what y'all are hearing if y'all hear something differently, because what I hear is the focus on the man and the woman, not necessarily the people who raise them and the values and the morals or lessons or, the things that they've taught them or the lack thereof that kind of led to the way a lot of women and men think. You know what I mean? This idea of being independent, you don't need a man, get your education, you don't need to be married young. All of that is stuff that was taught to a lot of these individuals. I remember hearing it growing up, and usually, I would say, I've heard it from the majority of single parent households where the mother told or their grandmothers told their daughters and their granddaughters, don't depend on the man, go to school, get your education, focus on you, have fun in your 20s, and then, then worry about all of that other stuff later. But they didn't really stress, from my experience, they didn't really stress marriage and, raising a family, finding the right man for marriage. They said, go have your fun in your 20s, get your education, and then the other stuff, whatever happens, pretty much happens. They really didn't focus on that from what I've seen. And I mean, if you think about it, you see how it's playing out. You can see why there are so many women who don't value marriage. They don't think that you should get married young. That's you settling. They think that they're going to be better options as they get older. A lot of women don't understand the importance of having a strong, solid family structure with the woman, the man, and the children. Something somebody else brought to my attention too is that people aren't focused on God. They're not, and religion is one thing, but being spiritual and looking, it's a difference. But you don't even see that aspect anywhere. People kind of play around with God and the things that God speak of and how and the order of how things are supposed to go according to the Bible and according to God. Now, everybody is not into it, but you don't even hear that aspect because they know that would not align with their choices and the things that they're doing. You hear women say all the time, they speak about God and religion, but or being spiritual, but they don't align with the things that they say they believe in or the things that they follow when it comes to religion or being spiritual or God. So it's like it's just used as something just to say or tout about, but they don't really follow that. Because if they did, a lot of these women wouldn't think and move the way they're moving. So that's like a joke in a sense. Like they don't really follow what the Bible is saying and how God intended for us to live. They're just using that just to say it, but you're not really following it. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that a lot of people aren't really focused on and not really taken seriously either. So it boils down to, in my opinion, to who taught you your ideas, who raised you to think the way you think. And a lot of times it's the single mothers or the parent or parents of that child who raised them to think the way they're thinking. This is why it's so difficult, in my opinion, for a lot of these women to see it any other way. But when they're running into the difficulties that they're facing right now, they're confused and they really think that the way that they've chosen to live their lives or go about, how they, the choices that they've made, they're confused as to why it's not working. So it automatically has to be somebody else's fault. But the fault is never my mother, my grandmothers who taught me to think this way. It's always, the men are the problem, But you gotta take some accountability for your own actions. you have to take accountability for the people who taught you these things and who set you up for failure, whether they knew it was going to be a failure or not. We got to start being accountable for the things that were taught to us by the people, the very people in our lives who kind of helped to lead us astray. Now, once you're an adult and you're making your own decisions, you are responsible for your decisions, of course. But at the same time, we can't ignore where a lot of this stems from. Who gave you these ideas in the first place? Who told you go have your fun in your 20s and just go get your education? Don't depend on the man, don't need no man. But then when you do all of that and you become this independent person who feel like you don't need a man, but somehow in that matrix, you know you want a man and you need one, but you're too deep into that what you call it, that mindset, to where you've been indoctrinated into thinking you don't really need a man, but you see you could use one and you need one, but you're too stubborn to say that you need one because you were taught not to need a man. So that goes against everything that was taught to you by your mothers, your grandmothers, people that you love, and you don't want to disrespect the things that they taught you. So you kind of gotta stand on it, but your outcomes in your life is not reflecting in a positive way based on the things that they taught you. I hope I'm making some sense. Y'all let me know if you'll hear where I'm coming from. So a lot of this stems from your upbringing and what you were taught. It's not just, oh, it's just the men's fault because they don't want to get in line and do what you say. No, it's your upbringing. We talk about this, talk about men wanting to leave this country, go overseas or go wherever to find feminine wives, feminine women who what? Basically were taught differently. Women who were raised with the idea of catering to a man and being submissive to a man. This is, to me, a major part of why our women are the way that they are, because of their upbringing. You know, the line of the training and the indoctrination starts at home. It starts with the people who are teaching you the morals and values that you have, or the lack thereof. It starts at home. So this is why I always say you have to have a strong foundation to build upon. If you don't have a strong foundation, you're not going to build anything that's strong and lasting. You're going to build something that you're not going to really build. It's not going to be built on anything solid. So what it does, it crumbles and it falls apart. So you have to start at home. This is why I think the things that I talk about and other people talk about is not going to be beneficial to the women who are already here. This could help the young women and men coming along in the future, the next generation of young people who may get it, because these women are already indoctrinated into their mindset. They don't want to change. They don't have any accountability because they believe what was taught to them, even though the outcomes are showing them something differently. But they're so stuck in it. It's like, you see this is not working. You see that it's failing, but you continue to push the narrative and continue to think that somehow you're going to manifest this great life, even though you haven't taken the right steps to get you to that place of that beneficial lifestyle, or the lifestyle that you want. You've done everything opposite of that, but you want the outcome as if you were raised in it and if you started young. You see what I'm saying? You want the benefits without the work, because that was never taught to a lot of us. The work aspect of it was not taught to us. It was just, oh, live your life, have your fun in your 20s means go, ride all the CCs you want and whatever. And then when you're ready, get your education, take care of yourself, be independent. Yeah. And then feminism and all that played into it. Nobody was really telling these women, hey, you need to prioritize a husband. You need to prioritize your family. You need to have that strong family unit so that you can thrive, build generational wealth, or whatever else. Nobody was really telling these women that. And the ones who probably were saying it, they weren't being heard, because it was like, now it's more of the hyena culture. The more of the loudest ones are out there, the ones who are doing the opposite of what they should really be doing to get the outcome that they want. See, they are not doing what is necessary to get the outcome that they say they want. They want husbands. They want traditional men. They want a man to take care of all the bills and do all these things. but they forget their part. And this is where the accountability gets lost because they don't want to hear it. You don't want to accept accountability, but you want all the greatness that comes with people who have started young, people who were raised a certain way to get that outcome, people who are submissive, traditional men who would take care of the household if that's the agreement, and to have a traditional wife, a wife at home, raising the kids, taking care of the house, cleaning, cooking, providing meals, nutritious meals for their kids, teaching their kids, being a loving, stable woman, committed woman to a husband who is out doing what his part is. See, the roles have been reversed, and now there aren't any roles. Women just want to do what they want to do with no consequences, but they expect the most in return. And this is the problem that they're facing, even though they don't want to accept it. It's the reality of the choices that you made. This is why they're trying to force men to accept them in their single motherhood. Just because you didn't get the right teachings, you weren't raised to be a wife and marry before you carry, does not mean that men have to accept you because you didn't have the tools and you didn't have what you needed. Because even with new information out here, even with the information out, you still don't want to accept it. You're still not being accountable. You still don't want to hear anything. You still want to continue to do what you're doing, but you expect men to just fold and say, oh, well, I need a woman so bad. I'm just going to accept this baby mama. I'm going to just accept this lady with these 3 kids and these 3 baby daddies because I want to. But that is not what he wants to accept. And he shouldn't have to accept the bare minimum or settle, because women like to say they're settling, but a lot of the men will be settling for you. And these women don't realize how big of a deal it is to go out here and just make babies with anybody and then complain about it and then want men to just level up and give you the world when you don't qualify for that, baby. And I'm not being mean. I'm just being real. You don't qualify for the type of man that you say you want because you are not the type of woman that he wants or nor that he deserves. So it's not balanced, but because a lot of these women have not been raised to be wives and be submissive and supporting and loving and all that, they're the opposite because they were raised to be independent boss chicks. You don't need no man, but you want one. You never was taught how to cater, do anything for a man. And it's not even about catering. It's about, being cooperative, understanding that you got a good man. Understand that you got somebody here who loves you and all of this, and you expect him to protect, provide, love you, do everything for you and your family, but you are not, it's backwards. But this is why it's so important for the next generation of young people to understand what is important, what it's going to take to build generational wealth, if that's what you're looking for, what it's going to take to build stable communities, stable households. And in my opinion, in order to build a stable community, you have to have individual households that are on that level, individual households who have 2-parent homes, who are striving for the best, teaching their kids the best, they're supporting their children, supporting each other. And if you have a lot of that, that turns into a community of like-minded people. You can't have a bunch of single mother households talking about, oh, we're going to build generational wealth when the family is divided, when there's no father teaching these young kids, these young men how to be men, teaching it, and the women teaching their daughters how to be mothers and wives and submissive and supportive women for their husbands, and teaching them that marriage is important. And it's not just a piece of paper, but it's something that is beneficial to all of you. When you have that in every household, you're going to have a community of that. But if you have a divided community that don't believe in any of this, never have, don't even believe in supporting each other, don't even believe in supporting a man, instead you have a disdain for men, you don't really like black men, let's make it clear, black men, and you think they're all horrific and bottom of the barrel, and you think that you're everything since sliced bread, that's just not going to cut it. And that's why we're in the state that we're in now. So I said a lot, but I have a clip for y'all I want to play. Shout out to Dwayne Jackson. Thank you so much for the generous super chat. I appreciate you. Says, well, I can tell the start of the fall Black family started with 1971 with Nixon Family Assistance Act, aka welfare, during the Vietnam War. Family Assistance Act forced the father out of the home Soldiers came home, no home, PTSD, and drug addiction. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dwayne. I appreciate you once again. Thank you so much for the super chat. And once again, that is a fact. That is a fact. I mean, a lot has played into this. We could watch. I've seen old clips from not even maybe like the 80s, early 80s, where these young women were having these babies. I grew up in it too, by the way. Grew up in it, saw it. Nobody was focused on marriage. Everybody just out here screwing and making babies. What you would call the so-called gangsters. They weren't in real relationships, a lot of them. Some of them were, but marriage was never on the table. It was just, let's make the babies. The relationships never last. They always end. And then you have all these kids without fathers, just aimlessly running around. The mothers of some are trying to do the best that they can, but they're struggling. They're struggling and they're having a problem. But they never thought that, hey, let me make sure I have a family here. Let me make sure I marry a man who want to have kids and want to be there for the kids and be there so we can support each other. It's not a one-sided thing. You should be supporting each other and raising your family and doing the best that supporting in the best way possible. But once again, we don't talk about the root of all of this. People talk about the outcomes or of what's happening, but they never want to get to the real root of it. Because if once you get to the root and understand that this starts at home, this starts young, this starts with you raising your children a certain way and teaching them certain things so that they can have the better outcome. By the time they get in relationships, your mind is already made up. You already have this mindset. You already think a certain way. And it shows and it plays out in the relationship. And when you don't understand a man and how men are, you think something wrong with men. You think all the men are the problem, and you don't have the issue because you think that what you were taught is the way you should be. Because a lot of us were never taught that a man is important, that you need a man, that you need to work with somebody. You're not going to be young forever. You're not going to be 20 years old forever. You're going to get older. And the older you get, these women realize, after you done been ran through, after you done had 3-4 babies and baby daddies, and none of that worked out. You see, these mothers are single. It's a single mother epidemic. Why? Because they think they never thought about anything else, or they weren't taught it, or they didn't listen. So there's a lot of variables, but it really starts with how you're raised and what you're being taught, in my opinion, because this is the main thing that why men are saying, I'm going other places. I'm getting the Western women. It's a wrap because these women are raised to be independent women. So let me go somewhere where the women are raised to be wives, because there's a difference in the mentality, what they're raised to do and be versus what the Western women have been raised to do and be. And it's very clear. So if we want the next generation of young women and men to have a different mindset, then it's going to have to start with their parents. Parents are going to have to teaching first we're going to have two parents, have stable parents, a mother and a father who are teaching their daughters and their sons the way it should be, giving them this knowledge young, because as they get older, they'll understand that, and it will produce more families, stable families with two parents in the household. If we continue on the trajectory the way we're going with this hookup culture, these single mothers got their sons out here shaking and twerking, baby. I don't know if y'all seen that video of that woman. She got her sons twerking right behind her. I'm like, this is ridiculous. What are you trying? Then complain about sassy men, but you a single mother, got your little chubby sons behind you shaking like twerking down. What is that? Oh, and that's not a problem. Because I've never seen men go out, and there ain't not one man I ever seen had his son out here twerking. I've never seen a man line his sons up and let them all twerk. I've never seen it. But these women have these children swinging on stripper poles, twerking. I mean, the boys and the girls, child. And that's not a problem. So that's why I say it starts at home. That's where it starts. We cannot get away from that. So when these women talk about, oh, well, the men, the men need to step up. I could talk about this all day long. You talk about a man that you met on a one night stand or somebody you met at the club and you went open your legs. My body, my choice, right? So you got to take some accountability for your body and your choice. Your choice was to open your legs and give sex to a man you barely knew because you thought he was fine. And then you popped up pregnant. You didn't care if you had a protection. You just went in it full steam ahead. Then you end up pregnant now. Oh, he don't want to step up. Baby, first off, two irresponsible people. He ain't ready to be a father. You weren't ready to be a mother. But because you the one got to carry the baby, you chose to have the baby, right? So what do you expect? You just automatically think that a man that you didn't know who looked at you as a booty call and you looked at him as a booty call, you don't know his last name. You probably don't know his first name barely. And you went and opened your legs up. You didn't have protection. You could protect yourself. There are condoms for women. There's birth control. There's how many? I mean, umpteen numbers of birth control for women. At least you could have protected yourself to not make a baby with a stranger. And then you like, oh, well, that stranger didn't step up. I don't really know who he is. And it's all his fault. We got to do better. It's not all his fault. Both were irresponsible. I would accept both were irresponsible. But if you're making irresponsible choices, what kind of outcome you think is going to come from that, baby? Be smart. These women are educated and smart. What do you think is going to come from that? So you got to do better. You can't just blame the man, blame yourself, and then blame your mothers and your grandmothers who told you, go out, have your fun in your 20s. You shouldn't be married at 20, locked down. Because some reason when you're married at 20 in your 20s, you're locked down. You can't do anything. No, the only thing you can't do is go screw all kind of other men. Let's be honest. Same thing I feel about Tia Mowry. She talking about, oh, she want to explore and she want to do things that and it's just my opinion. You want to explore and you want to do things that you weren't able to do in your 20s. Let's keep it honest. You want to go ride the CCs. You didn't get a chance to do that in your 20s. You didn't have that whole phase. Because that's all the thing that's missing. You didn't have a whole phase and you got to know what you like and what you don't like. So you want to go around and ride all the CCs, see which ones you like, which ones you don't like, have that experience to go and test all. You want to be a hoe. That's all that means. There's nothing else that you missed out on because you can have fun with your husband. You could be 20 years old and be married and you guys could travel together. Y'all can do things together and have fun together. But that's not what they want because they were told to go out and ride all the CCs, have all your fun means ride the CCs, ride that body count up because you gotta have that whole phase, right? You gotta have all the different sizes, right? You gotta go experience, girl, to know what you like. Go see if you like them this big or that big. You got to go and do that, right? No, you don't. Who says you got to have a whole phase? So if you've been married young and you've been with your husband all these years, you can have all kind of fun with your husband. This is this misconception that, oh, marriage is a bogged down thing. You can't have fun and you can't do nothing. You just at home. No, you grow together. You do things together. You have fun with that one man. But see, that doesn't line up with what they were taught. See, having fun means ride all the different CCs, it's all sexual. It means you need to go experience different men and all that. Everything is focused on sex, nothing else. And then see, they do that, not understanding that you are setting yourself up for failure, period. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for your future. So fast forward, you're doing all these riding CCs. You ain're protecting yourself because you end up pregnant. Now you're a statistic. Now you're 30, 40 years old. I want a husband and I want a provider. But now he ain't just providing for you. He got to provide for all your children that you made from these irresponsible choices. He got to be responsible to come and take on you and all your bad, poor decision-making skills or lack thereof when he's been consistent with himself and raised and been looking for setting himself up to get a wife and have a family and do it the right way. Now he got to lower his standards to go get you because majority of the women weren't taught right. No, and that's exactly what we're facing now. These women, hyenas, are trying to force stable, mature, successful men, in my opinion, men who have no children, a lot of them, who've prepared themselves for a family, his own family. Y'all want these stable men now to come in and take on you and your crew and be everything that they can to them. That's not gonna fly, and that's not fair. The geek surgeon, thank you for the super chat, says D, natural laws tell us that you continue to think like you always thought. You'll continue to get what you always got. If you want things in your life to change, you have to change things in your life. Hell yeah. Exactly. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Exactly. I say it all the time. You can't keep doing the same old things expecting a different outcome. You got to make changes to get a different outcome. And that's just what it is. Dwayne Jackson says parents should be the shepherding. Parents should be the shepherding their flock into adulthood with the right guidance and proper structure, discipline. Exactly. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you, Dwayne. Exactly. There has to be structure, guidance, all of it. Without it, you fail. And if you don't ever learn to do that, you're going to continue to fail. This is why you see women, okay, you become a single mother once. Oh, you were young and dumb. Okay, I'll give you that. Why do you do it again? You do it again, and you do it again and again sometimes. Did y'all see that video of that lady with the 7 babies and 7 baby daddies, which I'll be reacting to that soon? It's just crazy. You're not learning from your mistakes. So now they're not mistakes, they're willful acts. And you keep doing it, And now you want some man to come in and just be responsible for all of that. That's just not cool. So accountability, it starts at home. This is why a stable family structure is necessary in order to produce people of the like mind who understand what a man is looking for, understand the relationship between a man and a woman, understands your role in the relationship and what the role of the man should be. So often we hear women, they understand what the role of the man should be, but they don't have any idea of what their role should be, nor do they even want roles. So let me go ahead and get into this clip because I done talked a lot. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. Go ahead, hit the like button. So let me pull up this clip. We're gonna kind of go through this.
This is my refrigerator right now. It's currently empty.
Now, this is a woman. She says, I'm a single mom with no food in my for my daughter. Please help me get a loaf of bread. Baby, so this is what this is, just to give you a little context. This is a single mother who doesn't have enough money to feed her daughter. And she's asking for help. Here we go. Let me bring it back.
Y'all, this is my refrigerator right now. It's currently empty. I don't have no food.
Somebody in the comments said, go sell the refrigerator. I promise, bro. Y'all don't take shit serious on the internet. Side note, y'all are becoming way too comfortable with coming on this app and begging strangers to help you take care of the children that you chose to have. Then I go to Shorty's page, she over 30 years old. 30 years old online begging for money. You better sell that fucking phone in your hand. Shit, you better get out there and start selling it if you got to. There's a million, quadrillion, bazillion, mammillion things you can do besides begging strangers on the internet to help you take care of your child while she's screaming in the background. You're basically prostituting your child out for some sympathy points. If you can't feed your baby, then don't have a baby. Huh. Someone's always crying. Or whatever Michael said.
Like, y'all want people to get up and get out the house and go put money into a day where y'all don't even value mothers. Y'all don't value them. Y'all treat them like shit. There's no resources. They don't give a fuck. You go to work and your kid gets sick and now you can't go back to work. Who came up with this shit? Who came up with this shit? Who came up with this shit?
Now, before we proceed, hit the like button, you guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Who came up with what? Who came? Listen, this is the entitlement that I talk about. Everybody got to get out here and work, right? Men, women, everybody got to work in some capacity. Do you think it's the employer's responsibility to what take care, make sure that you have proper, adequate daycare for your children? Is that really their responsibility, or is that yours? Why do a lot of these women think that somebody should be responsible for their issues? Them people on them employers they're not responsible for your daycare and who's supposed to watch your kids. They hire you to do a job. You come to work, you do your job, you leave. Now, there are some places that help with daycare or stuff like that. There have been programs out there that help women, single mothers, with daycare costs and things like that. But a lot of those programs seem to be like running out, or they're not very many of them nowadays, because people take advantage of it. But even still, with that help, your employer is not responsible for your responsibilities. You created these children, not thinking about the circumstances that will follow. You created these children not thinking of the bigger picture, which most women tend to not do. You don't think of the bigger picture. You don't sit down and think about how this is going to affect me later on. How is it going to affect my livelihood? Do I even need to go out here and be making babies without support, without a husband? See, this is the part of the consequences that are associated with your choices. If you go out here having a good time and then you make this baby and you don't have support, you didn't do it the right way first, then this is part of the consequences of those choices. Nobody else has to be responsible for what you chose to do. Nobody's responsible for your child and what you've done. Then people don't owe you anything. The world owes you nothing. Nobody owes you nothing. But a lot of these women feel entitled that somebody's supposed to care. And I know it sounds harsh, but nobody owes you anything, baby. You're responsible for what you choose to do. Nobody owes you nothing. So this is why I try to tell even the younger people, listen, don't go out here. You don't have to go out here. You don't have to go out here and do this. There are consequences associated with these choices. You go out here and make babies all willy-nilly thinking it's cute. Oh, I just want a baby with him because he's fine, he's cute, he got curly hair, and I want a curly hair baby, or I want this or whatever. This is not a game. It's not a joke. This is real life with real life consequences, but they don't see it, and you don't want to listen. There probably been people in your life who told you don't do that, but you chose to do it anyway for whatever reason, and now when the consequences hit you, now you want to cry and think somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you nothing. You get what you provide for yourself. And if you didn't prioritize a husband before you made children, a man who you know wants a family and is wanting to be there with you and y'all build together, that's on you. Nobody else owes you a goddamn thing, period. So now when the difficulties start, here they are. Now we have social media. This has been going on for years, but social media has brought it to the forefront. And now everybody can see it in real time. So now you're out here and you go to social media crying for sympathy. And nowadays you can do GoFundMe's because you can't pay your bills, or you lost your job because you didn't have a babysitter and you can't afford it. Now you can get GoFundMe's and get sympathy points for people to help you when it's really nobody else's responsibility, baby. It's yours. And nobody feels sorry for you because you can't go to work because you had a child and without doing it the proper way. Because you could have had support. You could have had a man there for support. But according to these women, men ain't this and they ain't good for nothing and all that. And when you're doing it all by yourself, now you see how helpful it would have been if you had a husband there who y'all could help pay for daycare, or in another situation, he could be the breadwinner and you could be at home with your child. You don't have to worry about going to work, or you don't have to worry about looking for a daycare or anything like that, because you can be there with your kid while your husband go out and pay the bills. Or you can work from home. There's a lot of different things that you can do now, but these women are complaining because you feel entitled. You think somebody's supposed to just hop out the woodworks and come and take care of you, or you're blaming it on the man. If you're not blaming it on the man, you're blaming it on the job. You're blaming it on the employers. You want them to provide free daycare for you? for you to work there? No, they're just gonna hire somebody else. If you can't do the job, you can't show up for whatever reason, that's on you, baby. This is what you have to start thinking about the bigger picture. Women have to start thinking that a man is not just for your sexual pleasures. There's a lot more that comes with a man and a lot more things that they provide, because a lot of these women don't realize it until they're in a situation by themselves. You don't have a man. Now you see all of the stuff that you got to be responsible for, that otherwise having that man, how he can contribute and help in the situation. So for a lot of women who tell me, I don't need it. Well, you're gonna be crying on social media the same way these women are crying. Talk about you struggling, you don't have no help because you made poor decisions. Let's be real. Successful MD, they said simple. Keep your legs closed since you hate rules. Exactly. Thank you, successful MD. Right, keep them closed. If you don't, bottom line, if you don't want to listen to nothing, do it. You put yourself in a worse predicament. They put themselves there, and then you're blaming somebody else. It's not nobody else's fault. It's really not. Many purposely have babies for attention. Exactly. Look, I've heard women in real life say they want a baby with good hair. They want a baby with a white man so that the child can have good hair. I've heard this, and I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now. And I just look. I didn't say much growing up. I just watch and look and think to myself, what? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it still doesn't make any sense, but this is how a lot of women think. And they're not thinking about the bigger picture. They're thinking about what they want now. It's what I want, so I'm going to do it. And you don't see that it's a problem until it is a problem. Dwayne says, this is so bad. The jokes are starting starting writing themselves. Right. It is a joke. It's a game. And they starting to see, though. They starting to see how this is not beneficial to the things that they say they want. And it's unfortunate. Thank you once again for the super chat, Dwayne. A lot of these women don't see how this affects them in a negative way until they're older, until they want to settle down. So they just think that, because I'm ready to settle down, I should get a man making 6 figures and he could take care of all my kids and just make my life easier. Baby, it don't work that way. You can't escape work. And relationships take work. They talk about equality, but you don't really want equality. You want things to be fair and equal, but you don't want fair and equal. You want to be entitled, and you want somebody to come in and you want an easy life when you didn't do anything to help you get that life. That's the problem. You want the rewards without the work. And that's what's happened. The difficult part that you got to understand, that it doesn't work that way. Society has made these women think that they can go out and live this hot girl summer and be outside and open them legs up to everything smoking. And then when you popped up pregnant and you out here got to pay the bills, got to pay for the daycare, got to get the kids, when the children's sick, you got to stay home. You can't afford the daycare and all these other things. And now bills piling up because you can't work and you the only one there because you decided to have a hot girl summer. That's on you, boo. That ain't on nobody else. That's on you. They find time and money for $800 wigs. I know that's right. That's a fact. They sure do. Thank you once again for the super chat, successful MD. They surely do. But that's why nobody really has sympathy. I understand. Look, I'm not heartless or cold or anything like that, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to tell the truth. We got to stop sugarcoating things and stop purposely not looking at the truth. You gotta accept the truth in order to do better. That's just it. And as long as we keep coddling women and telling them, girl, it's okay. I can't do that, but I know a lot of women who do. Oh, it's okay, girl. You could do all bad by yourself. But do you want to do bad by you? But they complain that they don't want to do bad by themselves. But you don't. You're so stuck in your ways, and you don't know how to work with men because you've already had this preconceived notion about what men are based off of what your mothers and your grandmothers taught you. And so you already just think that men are coming to the table foul, and you're not looking at yourself when you're coming to the table foul. This is, once again, why that question, that statement, or a question is asked, what do you bring to the table? Oh my God, I am the table. No, because you have a vagina. That's the only thing that on that table that you think is worth something. Because you don't have any other tools to actually know how to be in a stable relationship and keep the relationship going. You could get in a relationship, but you end up walking away because you don't understand the concept of what is needed to maintain it. You only know how to get it, and you know how to only know how to use your vagina to think that that's going to keep a man there. And then when the vagina runs out or gets old, is the man going to still be there? No, because I mean he may could get that somewhere else better. But every woman thinks that their vagina is so great, and they think that that's the thing that runs or stabilizes the relationship when it does not. That's why I said you take the vagina off the table, which is happening now. Men are saying, I don't want that used box. Child, I don't want that box that's been spread all over. They looking around like, oh, they don't want this used box. What I'm gonna do? Oh my God, they don't care about sex. Who am I gonna get to pay my bills and do all this? They're panicking. Because when you can't use that, when men are saying, nah, I don't want you to be ran through it. I don't know what you got. They're panicking. Like, oh shit, what are we gonna do, y'all? We don't know what to do. Like, they're panicking. Because you don't have anything else. It says women need to be responsible with their bodies. Facts. No lies told in that. Alistair also says they find time to get a BBL. Yeah. I mean, they'll rob Peter to pay Paul to get the wigs, the BBLs, and all of that stuff because in their mind, it's an investment. You know how they say, oh, this is investment in my body. This is investment. So that when does the investment ever pay off though? Because it doesn't seem like it's working. Thank you for the super chat, Alistair. Black Up says, in my opinion, there is no such thing as an independent woman because every woman, including who are millionaires, want a provider. That's true. Thank you for the super chat, Black Ups. I appreciate that's true. Even women who make a lot of money still want a provider. That is so true. So they want a man who make more than what they make. We hear Ebony K. Williams say that. Thank you for the super chat, Black Ups. She say that all the time. She makes pretty good money, but she still wants a man who makes more than what she makes. Make what she makes and more. What's the point? Classic Perspective said no man wants a box that looks like Pennywise's face. Right. Who would want it? All beat up. I'm just saying. Thank you for the super chat, Classic Perspective. I'm just like, but when you in a society where women all think that they're 10s and they all think that they could do no wrong, they all think that they're just the best thing since sliced bread, that's the mentality you're going to get. They all think they're special. They all think they're just, because they got that vagina. The vagina's rule. Vagina rule. These men want vagina, so I'm going to charge you. We're going to make it a transactional thing. Let's get something out of it. Let's become prostitutes. We got to make them pay for this box. And now we're to a point where even OnlyFans, that's drying up. And which I'll do a video on that coming up soon. How OnlyFans, they're not getting the money that they used to get. These men are prioritizing other things. They're not spending as much on these memberships. These women are losing money. They're going to be crying and shaking in their boots too because these men are, the economy. It's causing men to not focus on that. They're not spending all that money on OnlyFans. And these OnlyFans, what they call models, but individuals are not getting paid like they used to. That's drying up. So they're going to be screaming and crying from that as well. But, we don't need men. We want them, but we don't need them. But the men are supporting a lot of these women. These dusties and they don't make no money. Well, when they decide to remove their money, y'all going to be crying and upset because these men aren't patronizing you the way they used to do. They see too much of it on social media. Why do they need to really pay for it when they can just go to Instagram or TikTok or whatever? You can see ads and tits all day. You don't got to pay for that. Why do they need to pay for it when women are objectifying themselves and putting themselves out there thinking for attention? So they're going to just look at that, get their rocks off by looking at you, with your ass and your tits out all everywhere on social media. Why they got to pay for it? So what you going to do? What you going to do when the men stop paying to support y'all, y'all getting this money? Oh, you don't need men, right? Huh? If men back away from a lot of things, you'll see a whole lot changing. Not for the better for these women. You don't need men, right? You know, they'll see how much they need men. Blair Lachey says, if more men start rejecting this toxic behavior, women will have no choice but to evaluate their choices. So men, please stand up for yourselves. I agree. And I think, Blair, I think a lot of men are starting to do that. Because, look, there are still some men with some simpish ways who are just out here desperate for a woman who still believe in, oh, I'm going to just pay her rent on day one. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever. Thank you once again for the super chat, Blair. I appreciate you. So yeah, men have a part in it too. The men who choose to still simp behind these women, making these women feel that they can ask for certain things, or that they can say, hey, if you want to talk to me, you got to cash at me $100. There are men who cater to that. And it's part of the reason why a lot of women feel that they can ask for it and that they can be the way they are, because there are men who cater to that. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, but I think a lot of men are waking up and they're realizing, hell no, I'm not doing that. I don't need to do that. And this is why you see a lot of women complaining, talking about men aren't like they used to be. They ain't like they used to. Yeah, y'all ain't like y'all used to. Women aren't like they used to be either. So it's all flipping up. So you got to accept it, baby. It is what it is. But let's continue with this video.
The part of parenting or single parenting that nobody talks about is being offered jobs, and you can't even accept the jobs because you don't know how you're going to get your kids to and from daycare, or who going to watch them on the weekends if you need to work, or anything in that nature. I absolutely love my kids to death, but if I could talk to the younger me, I would tell me to wait. I would tell me to wait to have kids until I know that I either am financially stable or I'm having a team behind me that can help me, because everybody needs a community.
Well, the younger you should tell yourself to prioritize a husband. A husband. They are important. They are. Prioritize the right man. First of all, who wants to be with you. Not like the other video where the woman says she likes a guy. She likes the guys who don't like her. No, prioritize the man who wants you, who wants a family with you, who sincerely wants you, cares about you. Take your time. You don't have to rush to have children. Find the right man to build a family with. Somebody who's family oriented, somebody who cares about you and wants a family. That should be the number one priority, not just wait till you're financially stable. Everybody says that. Oh, I want to be financially stable before I have children. You don't have to focus on being financially stable if you have a man where you guys are working together. When you prioritize what you want your family to look like, or does he want to be the sole provider? Is he saying, hey, do you want to work? Okay, you work, he work, y'all put it together, y'all build that way. Set your family structure up the way you want it to be. That's what you should be saying, but that's always missing. Oh, wait till I become financially stable. You're never going to be financially stable enough to have a child by yourself. And even if that is the case, you still need a father there for your child. She didn't say have a man there that's your husband. Marry before you carry, and have a husband there who wants a family, because that makes a difference. There are a lot of people who don't want, there are a lot of men and women who don't want children, but they're screwing, unprotected, but you don't want children. Make that make sense. Men and women. I don't want no children, but you know what? I'm going to go raw dog, Sally Sue, and get the best I could and tear that coochie up and, raw. But I don't want no children. Make that make sense. She don't want no kids either, but it's all about the D and the P. Let's do it. Then she pregnant, but you say you didn't want no children. So if you don't want children and you raw dogging women, and then she get pregnant, she don't care. She opened her legs willingly and got the best out of it she could, had a good old time. And then she pregnant, then she complaining. Well, you already know the man said he didn't want kids. So what makes you think he gonna all of a sudden turn into a father just off of GP? I'm just saying, like, come on now. Y'all, the sense ain't sensing. It ain't making sense. So Then you pregnant. He didn't want no child. He ain't in that child's life. He could care less about you and that child. And you knew this, but you still open your legs willy-nilly and said, come on, let's do it. You thought that was gonna make him change his mind? No. So there has to be accountability on both parts. Then fast forward, here another one talking about, you can't take jobs, can't go to work because I don't have no babysitter, and the ninjas ain't stepping up. You didn't think about that before you decide to you didn't think about protecting yourself or just waiting to engage in that until you find a suitable man who really wants a family and y'all have a plan in place and you have family on his, either family on your side or family on his side who's, willing to help and all of this whole called family, this what they call it, this village. You didn't think about a village was out here just raw dogging. Neither one of you. So you get what you give, what you put out. You didn't prioritize it. You didn't think about it. And now this is the outcome of it. There are consequences. Dwayne says, KS said many times a father should help a daughter vet potential husbands. Right. He definitely did that. The father should be involved in vetting the type of man for his daughter, that the parents should be involved in the dating process. And I agree, because a lot of these women do pick the wrong guys. You're picking for the wrong reasons. And then when you get the outcome associated with the choice you made, you're complaining about it. Thank you for the super chat, Dwayne. I appreciate you. Industrial Dave says, I laugh at single mothers who struggle. We are all grown and make all of our own decisions. Exactly. But somehow, thank you, Industrial Dave, for the super chat. But somehow these particular women it's like you don't see that your choices have consequences. They just think that, they can choose that and something miraculous is going to happen so differently that a man going to just bust bust on the scene with a S on his chest, Captain Saberho, and say, I'm here to rescue the day. All the single mothers, come on, I'm going to give you all my check. Come on, let's take care of all these kids because the fathers don't want to do it. So I'm coming here to save you because you deserve it. It's like they think that something like that's going to happen. Like somebody's going to come and be Captain Saberho and save them from all their stress and all their worries and everything. Come on, I'll take the kids. I'm going to pay for a daycare. Make sure they're good. I'm going to make sure you can live your soft girl life. I'm here to save you. You ain't got to work. Sit home. Be fat as ever. 400 pounds. I'm good. 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. I'm good. I don't care about the baby daddies. I don't care about your body count. I don't care about none of that. You the queen, and I'm here to save you. Whatever you want, whatever your desires, I got you. Let's do it. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for a Captain Saber. You want a man to give you a soft life and have no qualms about your choices in the past. You could have done whatever you want, slept with 1,000 ninjas. You got that body count racked up to the max. You got 3, 4 babies, 4 baby daddies. It's all right. One of them got shot. The others ran off. Like that lady say, one passed away because one always passed away. God forgive me, I'm not being mean, but that seems to be the scenario. So one of them got shot, passed away, and the other ones, you can't find them. That's all right. I'm here for you. You don't really care about me. I don't have the swag. I'm not 6 feet tall. I'm 5'9", but I don't have the swag. I'm a good dude. I went to trade school and I make $150,000 a year. I don't have no kids. I'm a good dude. I'm kind of boring. I don't really want to spend all my money, but you know what? I'm gonna spend it on you and your kids. I'm gonna come in that house. As a matter of fact, y'all gonna come live. We're gonna put y'all in my nice house that I bought because I make good money and I'm preparing it for a family. I make good money. I have savings. I have retirement. I have what is it I'm trying to say? I have investments. I have it all together. I just been waiting and preparing since I was young. You had a 2-parent household. Your father taught you how to do all of this and set you up so that you can have a stable household for your family. And then you're going to go get Bonquisha and take her with her 3 kids, 3 baby daddies who ain't never prepared for a man in her life. just all over the place, body count bad, got her own children, just looking for a helpman. You gonna take her and her kids, put them in your nice house you was prepared for your own family. And guess what? Bonquisha don't want no more children. That she got her 3, and that's a wrap. She done. She got her tubes tied. So you don't get a son, you don't get a daughter. This is what you're supposed to do. Take them all in, save them, give them a soft life. She ain't got to work because you already got your bills managed. So she gonna sit in the house. Her 3 kids probably aren't disciplined. You gotta train the kids. You gotta train her. She don't know how to be a wife to you. You gotta train her. You gotta do a whole lot while trying to. What man in his right mind would sign up for that? Because I damn sure wouldn't want my sons to sign up for that. Hell to the nah, baby. You can keep it trucking. Hell no. What? No, that is a man settling. Period. Women talk about, no, you ain't settling with no 3 damn kids and 3 baby daddies and body count up through the roof and 400 pounds. You ain't settling. That man would be settling. Any man that get with you would be settling. So, child, y'all, no. But let's continue.
And when you are alone doing this, it's the worst. It's the worst feeling in the world. I absolutely love my kids to death. I'll do anything for them. But when you are trying to give them the best and you have multiple baby daddies that won't even be like, hey, what's your work schedule? Let me help you because I know you done help me because I can go to work whenever I feel like it and I can make as much money as I feel like it and I can do the bare minimum for my child. It's sickening. It's sickening. And I'm not dealing with 1, not 2, but 3 men that fail to realize that they mama needs to work too. And it hurts me to the core because I try to do as much as I can or work around these men's schedules far as pick up and drop off, and I always get the shit end of every stick. I try not to be the baby.
Well, the questions, see, this is what I'm saying. The questions aren't being asked. See, women are able to vent and express their feelings, tell what they think, what they feel, what they think a man should do. But first question, she said she got 3 baby daddies. Why do you have 3 baby daddies, honey? Why with the first one you didn't learn from that? Even if you I'm all about, we all make mistakes. I'm not saying you got to be perfect and nobody make mistakes because that's just everybody make mistakes. But the key to it is learning from your damn mistakes. If you did it once and you realize it was hard, did it take 3 baby daddies for you to realize how difficult it is? You didn't realize with that first one that this was difficult? So you did it 2 more times to prove to yourself that it's difficult? I don't get it. So the first one wasn't enough to show you this is difficult doing it by yourself, because I'm pretty sure none of the fathers are in the child's lives. They're working, probably moved on with other relationships and other children, taking care of their families and not really worried about you because y'all wasn't really a real serious thing. Y'all just ended up having a baby. And you did it 2 more times to prove to yourself this is very difficult. I don't understand that. And so now you're in a precarious situation. You're doing it all by yourself. This is what they told y'all to do. Go out, have your fun in your 20s, and they didn't tell you, the babies was going to come, the diseases was going to come. Oh, and now you're going to have to do all this by yourself, independent. You don't need no man, right? So that means you're doing it by yourself. Oh, they didn't tell you how difficult that was going to be. They just told you to do it. They set you up for failure, honey. They really did. Them grandmas and the mamas who were married, they were married. They stayed married just till their husbands died. Regardless of how people want to say, oh, back then, no, she was probably miserable in a relationship. She stayed. She ain't leave. Your grandma was miserable, so people like to say, but she ain't leave. She stayed because she had sense. Even if she wasn't happy in a relationship, she knew that man was making money and taking care of the household. And she was taking care of the household in the house while he financially was bringing the bulk of the money to the house. She knew she couldn't do it by herself. So she could have been miserable all she wants. She could have had dreams of grandeur. She could have had dreams of going to college and doing that too, but she knew she had to stay there because without him, she would fail. She had sense enough to know, let me stay with this man because he is a provider and I don't have the means to provide, so I'm going to stay. Same fast forward now, it's not much different. Women could work, but you still don't have enough to provide for yourself and sustain yourself. If we got women out here complaining they can't work because of the kids didn't have, you didn't do it. You didn't do it like your grandmothers did. You thought you could do better. So you go out here, you make babies out of wedlock, you screw around all that, do all of that, and you by yourself. You didn't no man really wants to take you seriously because you don't take yourself seriously. So now you're out here still trying to work and do all, you ain't making enough money to sustain. So you're struggling. The woman sitting here, the previous video, she's no food in her refrigerator, on social media begging for money to feed her child. Where's the daddy? Where's the man? Because if both of y'all was working together, you wouldn't have that problem to feed your child. Y'all would be able to feed your child. So you're doing it by yourself because you don't want to have to deal with a man, but then you're struggling and complaining about the men not being there. What do you want? This is why I say if these modern women can have it their way, they don't want the relationship. They want a sponsor. This is what they call it, a sponsor. You want a sponsor to come in, pay all your bills, and y'all don't really have no relationship. You just want somebody to pay your bills, and you could, maybe screw them here and there, and they live where they live. You live with. You just want somebody to come in and just pay all your bills, and whenever they're ready to give you, you ready to give them a little time, they'll take it, and that's good enough for him. But you want them to come in and pay your rent, your lights, your buy your hair, get your nail, all of that. They want a sponsor. That's what they want. They don't want the relationship. You don't want to have any discipline. You don't want a man, hovering over you, trying to make sure you're doing the right thing. You want to be outside. You want to be able to screw in peace. You want to be able to do whatever you want. And that man just still sit there and pay your bills. That's it. That's what they really want. You don't want to have any discipline. You don't want to have any structure. You don't care about a stable family for your children. You really don't. They really don't. All they do is complain when it's hard and they got to do it. But you don't really want no structure in a man. You just want a man up for his finances. You just want him to pay your bills, and that's it. And you want to pay for your girls' trips. You want to pay for everything, and give him a little coochie here and there, and want him to be okay with that. And you can come and go as you please, and that's that. So you're still not learning anything. And then when you get 50 years old, because and this man said, "Oh, okay, I know, ma'am, I'm done with you. I'm gonna go get me another 20-year-old and pay her because she's finer than you. She's younger and she looks better. I'm done with you. You done ran your course. I'm done." Then they get mad. Then the sugar daddies don't want you. He want a younger woman that he can pay this money and get her attention and get, some good loving from her, not you no more, because you done ran. You're an old bag now, so he don't want you. So now he going to younger. This is where a lot of women hate when men say they want younger women. Women try to say, "Oh, these men are predatory because they want a 25-year-old versus the 45-year-old." No, they want younger women. So that throws you to the side. You're no longer useful anymore. So now you end up older by yourself because you done ran your course. Now you didn't get you a man for a marriage, or a husband for a stable relationship, so that y'all can grow and be together. Somebody who would be happy to grow with you grow together, and y'all, go to the end. You didn't want that. So now you got to do it by yourself. That's your fault. That's nobody else's fault. Successful MD says joining the bonnet army is an ultimate failure. Period. The bonnet army. I call it the single women brigade, child. Y'all gonna be single to the end, independently. Thank you for the super chat, Successful MD. Yeah. So that's what it is. Let's continue.
Mama that's calling, complaining, or even asking for too much or nothing. So when I can't even take a job that they know that will better their kids' life because their kids are primarily with me, it hurts me. It hurts me because I don't ask. I don't bother. I don't tell if the kids need diapers, or if they needed shoes, or if they needed socks, or anything. I'm not that type of mother. Even if I didn't have food, I would go to a food pantry before I call them and ask them, "Hey, can you help me with food?" Because food stamps don't always feed the kids.
So why can't you call the daddies if the children need shoes or clothes and things? Why? So you don't tell the fathers when the kids need clothes or shoes or need anything. You would just rather go to a shelter or a food pantry if you need food. Why is that? Child, it don't make no sense. Let's continue.
It hurts me to the core. It hurts me. But I'm finna start standing on business. I'ma have to, and I don't give a fuck. Because this shit it's ridiculous. It's becoming ridiculous.
What does stand on business mean? What that mean? What are you gonna do? Are they on child support? Put the fathers on child support. I mean, you can do that. I mean, what you mean stand on business? What that mean? It's all jacked up. I mean, clearly, it sounds like, if she's honest about what she's saying, it sounds like she's not asking the fathers for things that the children need. How are they gonna know what the children need if you don't tell them? Let's continue.
I just finished watching a video on TikTok of a young lady crying and upset because she can't take on particular jobs because she has children. And by her having these kids, she can't take on these particular jobs because she doesn't have help. But I find that in the comments, everyone is saying, it's the village. They don't make the village like they used to. And let me tell you why the village is not like it used to be. Because the village told Britney, when she got pregnant with that first child, Britney, don't lay up and have no more babies. Britney, you struggle to take care of this one. We're going to help you with this one, but we're not going to help you take care of all these kids if you keep having kids. And guess what Britney do? Britney lay up and she keep making kids with all these different men. Not only that, Mama and Papa had to put Britney out because she got all these kids. And now Britney's in her own place. But yet she's still calling me, my papa, the TTs and the cousins and everybody, because now she's crying and saying the lights are going to be turned off and her and the kids going to be in the dark. And did I fail to mention that Britney has a ninja laying over there in the house? And on top of that, now the family had to pay the light bills. Now Britney is always calling and saying she need gas money because she cannot get her and the kids back and forth. She needs to get to work and she don't have gas to drop the kids off at school. Oh, did I fail to mention that Britney is letting this ninja drop her off at work in her car and he's the one who's driving all the gas out the car?
Look, she's on point. This is the stuff that I've seen growing up. This is exactly what it is for a lot of these particular women. But this is the part they don't want to talk about. You gotta shush. Gotta be quiet. Women can't expose women. Women's supposed to be in a sisterhood. The sisterhood means don't tell the truth. Sister code means, girl, don't rat us out. Let's just keep blaming these ninjas. Let's just keep putting it on them. Don't tell our story. Don't tell our parts. Don't make us look bad. Oh, don't tell the truth, girl. You're breaking the sister code. We got to make it look like it's all their fault and we're innocent victims. No, you're not. And so this is the part they don't want you to hear. You don't want to put any accountability on yourself when you're dead wrong and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You got all these kids and you want the so-called what they call the village to watch your kids all the time. When you go into the club to go get knocked up again, you still ain't learned nothing from the first two babies and baby daddies. They ain't around. They're taking care of kids. You can't even get child support from them because they don't have no job history. Y'all just was laying up. They had nothing to offer and you knew it and you was fine with that. Then when now they done moved on, a lot of them, and now you stuck with these children and all of it on you, now you crying and depressed. And you want the village to keep on holding you down when, like she said, the village is tired. These people got lives of their own. You're not learning from your mistakes. So after a while, the village like, I ain't watching them kids. You're going to have to figure it out yourself because you ain't learning and you keep making more. So now it's all on you, boo. Dwayne Jackson says, some of these women do this as a hustle. And you notice now in some states, DNA testing is becoming mandatory before the birth certificate is signed, and women are pissed about it. Yeah, they pissed. Yeah, because you can't play your games. Thank you, Dwayne, for the super chat. They are pissed because they ain't gonna be able to play these games. They ain't gonna be able to do it. And I think mandatory DNA testing should be in every state across the board. So you can't sit up here and finesse these dudes anymore. It's changing slowly but surely. A lot of the laws and the rules are changing, and it's not going to benefit these women, and they're going to be left fully to their own devices. They're going to fully be left to really providing for being these independent boss chicks that they've been saying that they are, you're gonna really have to be independent, a really independent resource for yourself and your kids. You ain't gonna be able to finesse these men and do all this other stuff, get money, get rent money out of this one and get lights out of that one and get this out of that. You're gonna have to do it all yourself. And this is what is starting to happen. And that's why they're complaining. They're scared. They're shaking in their goddamn wigs. They're shaking in their wigs, baby. They don't know what to do. All this money that they claim they're making and all these women are doing so well, we're gonna see. We're starting to see. And they're gonna be crying, talking about they ain't got no help. But you're supposed to be your help. Who else is supposed to be responsible for you when it's just you? You're independent. Independent means you solely unto yourself. That's what that means. And all of the responsibilities on you. And that's what you wanted. Now you got it. Now figure it out. Successful MD says, DeeDee, I'm no genius, but how could all of the children be in diapers at one time? I think grifting and manipulation is offered as a doctorate. Thank you for the super chat, baby. Listen, look, none of this stuff makes sense. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Thank you for the super chat. Successful MD says, DeeDee, I'm no genius, but how could all of the children be in diapers at one time? I think grifting and manipulation is offered as a doctorate. Child, look, it's just, it don't make sense. Listen, it's just a hot mess. That's what this is. This society and the way women think. Well, a lot of these women think, not all women, because I think honestly, the women who get it are already in stable relationships and marriages. The majority of the ones who get it, they've gotten it since young and they're already married. The ones who don't get it are still out here trying to play these games and trying to manipulate people and trying to make men think that it's a benefit for them to go take on these single mothers and take care of them when it's not. Let's get back to this clip.
Not only that, Britney dropped her kids off at me, mom, and papa house. And she knows she have young children in diapers. And she don't even send no diapers nor no wipes with her children. So now me, mom, and papa, they have to scrub their 2 nickels together to go get her kids some diapers. Not only that, Britney get food stamps. But when she drop her kids off at me, mom, and papa house, she sends no food, or she don't even offer food stamps to me, mom, and papa when she gets some. So me, mom, and papa are already over there struggling to feed themselves. But now they had to take their scraps and also divide it between Britney and her kids. Not only that, when Britney do get off work, she don't come right over there to me, mom, and papa house to get her children. She goes out with her friends and say, oh, mama need a break too. Do I need to carry on? Why the village is not like it used to be? The village is tired.
Exactly. They're tired. They're tired of the shenanigans, the BS, the behavior, the mentality. Because I mean, this is, like I said, this is the mentality of a lot of these so-called modern independent women. You want an excuse for everything. You're entitled to something that you don't deserve. And you don't want to make any changes. Once again, the accountability aspect is for you to accept and acknowledge your flaws, your faults, whatever, and make changes that will benefit you in a positive way. If we continue to push the narrative that women are special and they deserve certain things that they have not put in the work for, then that's going to continue to yield selfish, entitled women who can do no wrong. When men don't get that excuse, men don't get to be able to make excuses for not working and not providing. They're called bums and dusties when they don't provide, when they don't work, when they don't make money or do anything. But women are allowed to be bums, and there's an excuse for it. And this further perpetuates the cycle that we're seeing play out today, which makes them unaccountable for their actions and their poor decision-making skills or lack thereof. Because there's no accountability, and society promotes that and push that until these women have pushed themselves in a pickle that they can't get out of. And then when there are no more resources left behind them, then you're going to see them blaming society. Then you're going to blame the government when they take away government assistance, when they take away all these things that these women are latching onto, and using it as a way to benefit themselves, but to put men down, saying, see, men don't do this, men don't do that. You're not doing it either. You're depending on the system, government assistance. Without the government assistance, you're gonna be homeless and you ain't gonna have no food, and you're gonna have no money to do anything. Just like that lady with the 7 kids, she get full government assistance. She said she get $3K a month, for which I'll be talking about that in another video. $3K a month for food stamps, and she don't work, she don't do shit. I mean, it don't seem like she do. But she's bragging on social media about it as if that's a flex. 7 children by 7 baby daddies. And that's a flex, and she's happy and proud to boister that all over the social media and thinking that that's, boasting that and acting as if that's a win-win situation. Where are the fathers of your kid for your kids? There's no shame in their game, but see, when things don't go right, I guarantee you she'll be complaining as to why she ain't getting her. If they cut them 3K stamps off, she gonna be wondering what happened. Why? Y'all need to do something about this. Y'all need to give me my stamps for my kid. I need to eat. Well, that ain't the government. That's your kids. It's a setup, it's a setup. It's a program in which these women are programmed to think a certain way to set them up, get you comfortable in that position, and then snatch that shit away from you. And then you're going to be left looking like, what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do? How I'm going to take care of all these kids? Baby, you should have thought about that before you had them. I think, like, if you can't feed the baby, why you had the baby? Why you had more babies and more to the tune of 7 different men who don't seem to be in the child's lives or taking care of them properly, because you need government assistance. They're not going to give you the government assistance if the man was there providing for his own kids and taking care of them and supporting the household. You wouldn't need the government assistance. So obviously the fathers are not there. I think she said she get child support, but it probably not much. But without those resources, you have nothing. Nothing. So to sit back and just depend on that is very scary and dangerous, because they could stop. You're not entitled to it, baby. They don't have to give it to you. They really don't. So that would be scary, to just sit back and depend on that and not do anything else to ensure that your 7 kids will have the best, So it's just a scary thing. But these are the women who feel entitled, honestly. And I think government assistance, it entitles a lot of women. It makes them feel like that's what they deserve it. They're supposed to get it. And if you snatch it away, oh my God, they're going to complain. It's not, you shouldn't be, you're not entitled to anything. It's there to help, but at any moment they could decide we're not going to do this anymore. And you're going to have to figure out another way. Successful MD says government programs were designed for temporary use. Amen to that. They were. Thank you, Successful MD. They were designed for temporary use, baby. This was not a system that was set up for you to be on for your whole entire goddamn life. That's not what thank you, Successful MD, for the super chat. That is not what they were designed for. These people, that other lady said she gonna be on government assistance. Her children gonna be on it. Her grandchildren gonna be on it. Baby, if I was her grandchild, her child be like, hell no, I know you lying. I'm not gonna be getting on this shit. I'm going to work and get myself together. I don't be sitting here waiting on the government to give me some money and some stamps. I would be like, hell to the no, I'm not gonna do that. Why? That's a good thing to them. And it's something they feel they deserve. Because I had 3-4 babies and baby dad. I ain't get married. I ain't got no stable relationship. The government's supposed to take care of me. Because I chose to do this on purpose so I get my government assistance. Because I know I'm entitled. You got to give me my goddamn food stamps and my money, baby, because I worked hard trying to make these babies. I worked hard making these babies so I could get on this government assistance. So you better run me my money. It's the mentality. That's what I'm saying. And don't get me wrong. Don't look. I like to clarify myself. Don't get me wrong. I think government assistance is necessary for individuals who are having a hard time. You know, for and it honestly, look, people who are working, and maybe they may lose their job or they may lose hours or the company cut back. I think those individuals should be able to get support. I think those individuals should be able to get qualified for support because they are working, they are contributing to society, they are putting money in. So I think honestly, people who are working and are stable and have proven that they've been taking care of themselves for the whole time, and then they fall on hard times, I think they should qualify for some assistance because it's meant to, it's not meant to be a lifelong thing. It's meant to be a supplementary help that help you for a period of time where when you having a hard time. But the people who put the most or put the most into society aren't able to qualify for any help when they need it. They're not able to get any assistance when they need it, and they've contributed to society. They pay taxes, all of these things. I think those people should be able to get help when they are falling on hard times to supplement their income until they can get back on their feet, because they've proven that they've put into society, they've worked hard, they've contributed. But for people who've never contributed and just sitting back, just doing whatever they want to do, they're the ones who usually get the most of the assistance. You guys, you decide to go have a broken home and have all these children because you know that they would favor the system would favor you. Hardworking people who lost their jobs and need help, they should be able to go apply and automatically get some assistance to help them in that time. And then when they get back to work, they don't need it because they're not sitting here trying to just get it all and get it for the rest of their life. They just only need it to help them when they fall on hard time. That's the ones who should get it. That's how I feel about it. But people who work hard and contribute the most can't get it. Can't get a dime, barely anything. But the reckless society of people sit back, lay down, don't do shit but lay up. That's all you do. Lay up, open your legs. That's all you do. Just open your legs all day, every day. Lay up all day. Just popping them out. Boop, boop, boop. Different. They don't care because you can go get $3,000 a month in food stamps and get Social Security. You could get government food stamps. You can get money. You can get daycare, probably. You can get them to help you pay your light bills. You can get Section 8. You can get it all. You ain't got to do shit but sit back, open your legs, and make a bunch of children, and they're just gonna pour the money in, and you're gonna be happy with that. I'm sure you're happy. I don't blame her. I believe the lady is happy with all the kids. She happy as hell. She said, I'm happy, and I'm living her best life. Right? Because you ain't got to do nothing. You did the most you was gonna do was make them 7 babies, and now you're benefiting from the government off of it, and you happy with that choice. But today, tomorrow, they stop all that. You homeless and you don't get none of it. You can't eat. Then what you gonna be doing? And see, that to me enables a lot of these women to do what they're doing. There's no incentive for them to stop. That's what was the problem in the first place. Do you need the fathers? No, because the government is your daddy, and they're gonna take care of you, and they're gonna give you everything you need. Yeah, you living in a project. So what? They shooting and bullets coming through the window. It's all right, but we ain't gotta pay. So what? You got rats and roaches with your babies in here. It's all right, because we ain't gotta pay. The government doing it. You're in Section 8 housing in the worst neighborhoods. That's okay, because we ain't got to pay. We covered. It's all okay, but then talk about, I got to give my kids the best. Really? Is that the best? You think that's the best? You think Section 8, government housing, projects, food stamp, you think that's the best you can give your kids? Successful MD once again says, if they give USDA food again instead of money, we would see a change because no one would buy that government cheese, peanut butter, or powdered milk. If they give USDA food again instead of money, we would see a change because no one would buy the government cheese. Do they still have what is considered government cheese or peanut butter or powdered milk? I remember it growing up, but I'm like, is that so? I didn't know that was still a thing. But yeah, I think if they did something differently, thank you once again for the super chat, Successful MD. They did something differently where they didn't give the money, but didn't give the stamps, but you could go somewhere and just get an allotted amount of food or whatever, and that's it. Or, you know, they're not giving you cash, but there are still some resources that you can get. But not, it would, yeah, it will force them to do something, force the people to do something differently instead of sitting around acting entitled and taking that as a cash grab or a money grab or whatever, you know. Classic Perspective says welfare spelled backwards to men is farewell. Oh shit. Thank you for the super chat, Classy. Dang. Oh my God. Farewell, child. Oh, have mercy. Thank you for the super chat. What's going on, Smitty? Smitty says, great show, DeeDee. Still very proud of you, sis. Thank you. I appreciate you, Smitty. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. Baby, it's a hot mess. Let's see. I wanted to pull up another clip, but I have I want to save the other clips for a video, but yeah, I just think a lot needs to change. A lot needs to change. I'm gonna open the chat up for a few minutes, you guys, because I don't have a whole lot of time today, but I'm gonna open it up for a few minutes. If anybody want to just give their 2 cents, do it quickly, because I'm not gonna be up here too long. But since we got a little bit of time, I'll go ahead and post the link if you want to join to give your 2 cents really quickly. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. So I put the link just in case anybody want to just quickly give their 2 cents. I'll let you come up and do that. Where's the link? Did I post it? Do y'all see the link? Okay, the link. Oh, there it is. Okay. I'm trying to link it, y'all. Why isn't that linking? Or pin it. I'm sorry. There we go. So I pinned the link to the top of the chat. Definitely you got to be on cam. So cam up quickly. We're not going to be up here too long, you guys. I have an appointment, so we're going to get a few you guys to talk, and then we're going to wrap this up. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. That is super, super important. Go ahead and hit the like button. What's going on, Michael? Can you hear me?
I know you're getting tired of seeing my face on this channel, ain't you?
No, you're good. No, you're good. Not a problem.
I'm just messing with you. I was watching while I was watching you. I was watching Sister D'Amica as well, and you won't believe what she's talking about. She's talking about Corey Hardrick and how Tia Mowry is jealous of him now because he don't got a lot of success in his career. You know, he just did that movie with Tyler Perry called Divorce in Black and everything like that, which I'm glad that not too many black people went to go see, because Tyler Perry just got the same old tune. The black man is bad, the black woman is good, everything like that. So, but he's getting a lot of roles now. He's living a successful life, and in the title of her video is
we not listening. Shout out to Sister Danica Marie, but I want you to comment on the topic here.
Oh, the topic here, okay.
Yeah,
okay, I was just making an example, but I'll comment on the topic here. A lot of women have got to understand that they need fathers in their life. They need fathers in their children's life. They need a male role model. I know I've said that 1,000 times before, and I don't think that women will ever get it to it's too late. But there has to be some type of consequence for women just going out here having babies out of wedlock. There has to be some type of consequence. We cannot keep saving them because in the process of saving them, we're destroying the black community. There has to be some type of consequence so that the next generation will understand they cannot continue to do this. So my opinion, if you want to keep having children out of wedlock, you want to keep having babies, you don't want to take care of your responsibilities, you want to lay around and have babies with dudes that are irresponsible. They ain't nothing but what CDC calls F-19s, and keep getting pregnant, then we're not gonna help you. I remember when my cousin got pregnant the first time. I said, "Well, I can't wait till I told my grandmother, I can't wait till she have a second baby." She said she ain't having no more children. She had one more child. I'm not gonna help her, and that's
Right.
what we gotta be in the black community, because the black community is suffering with all this fatherlessness. But if you want to keep doing it, we're gonna let you keep doing it to yourself.
I mean, period. Nothing, none of the facts. No lies detected. I mean, that's just the truth, and I agree. Of course, yeah, they're enabled to do it because there are no consequences. Nobody is. There's nothing in society, nothing in the government or anything that is like putting a cap on it to say, well, if you have over this many children as a single mother, oh, you can't get benefits. So it needs to be something like that to where they just can't run amok. You know what I'm saying?
There has to be some that, but they doing this because they know that. But the government does this because they know it's going to destroy the black community. They understand. They understand that to remove the father from the home will be the instant destruction of the black community, and that's the reason why the government keeps incentivizing women to get on government assistance and food stamps and stuff like that. So we got to get back to the. I got to get back to the old ways. I know that you don't. I know that most people don't even believe in the Bible like that. But as time get, but I do. Because as time get closer to Jesus Christ coming back, the world's not gonna get any better. But for those black people who want to listen, who want to learn, who want to have a community, or don't want to have a community tie, as Angry Man will call it, they're gonna have to start separating themselves from the black people that just want to fool around and not want to have any type of business about themselves. We got to start separating ourselves from the black people that don't want to be about community, don't want to be about community of building, don't want to be about community family oriented. Just want to be out here having children to the day they die. And as fathers, we have to reign supreme over our daughters until the day, into our sons too, but our daughters definitely until the day they find a husband. Because if we don't reign supreme on them, they'll go out here and they'll start getting pregnant by Pookie and Ray Rays. Even if they're doctors and lawyers, these women start getting pregnant by Pookie and Ray Ray. They don't want a good man. But you have to, but as a father, you have to make, and I know your husband has done this to your daughters before. As a father, you have to make your daughter like a good man. You have to show your daughter what a good man is. You have to tell her you're not gonna date this guy over here. You're gonna date this guy over here. I don't care if you're attracted to him or not. You're gonna date him, and you're gonna even marry him too. You have to be forceful with your daughter, because when your daughter gets older, she'll realize it's for her own good.
I hear you. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
No, there's nothing I want to add. I mean, we got to get back to bringing fathers back into the household. We gotta make women understand that men built the world that they live in, so they need men in order to raise their children. So
I agree. I agree 100% because that's just what it is. But they hate to accept it. I think somebody mentioned in the chat that some of them, they know what they're doing. They hate to accept it. You know what I mean? They just want to do what they want to do, and it's very clear. We already seeing this happen though. It's happening slowly but surely. You see a change happening, and this is why a lot of them are complaining because they don't want the change. That's why you don't want to be accountable, because you don't want to make any changes. You want to keep doing what you're doing because it's beneficial to them in a way. So yeah, we gonna just watch this fall apart or something.
men midtown, men going their own way, the drizzle
Right.
drizzle movement, everything is
Exactly.
it's your what goes around comes around. So I
Yep.
mean, you losing power. Some power has. So everybody can't remain in power for long. Women want to be in power. We gave you a season of power. Now it's destroying. Now the power is coming back to bite you in your behind, and you don't like that. So it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. But am I the only person gonna be on the panel today, or you gonna get some more?
I gotta get out of here. Yep.
Okay, so you saying same thing Tuesday and Friday, right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, be safe at your appointment, and thanks for inviting me up. Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. Be safe.
Be safe. Bye bye.
Right, bye-bye. Let me see something here. I want to pull this up. Felicia, what's your point on that? I wish you could kind of elaborate a little bit more. Felicia says focus on daughters but not sons. Shaking my head. Who's focused on the daughters and not the sons? I'm curious. Successful MD says people choose what they prefer. That's true. Miss K says it's called you have to pick your daughter's husband for her. Cornelius says females are impressionable if something is being made to look bad. Then they will associate this behavior to that image. We have a selected listener, successful Kyronetta. What's going on, Kyron? Said that will end badly. LOL. We have a selective list. I get what he's saying, but I don't think that will work. Darvell says, I missed the show, DeeDee. Thank you for being here, though. I appreciate you. Independent. Let me see here. What's going on? Felicia Gray, what you mean focus on daughters and not the sons? I want to know where you're coming from. And thank you for being here. Shout out B-Man TV. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. She says, he said we have to teach our daughters. Everybody says that. The solution is always to fix women and girls some kind of way, but not this shitty pool of males. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think if there is a shitty pool of males for sure, granted, but a lot of those males are raised by single mothers. A lot of the shitty pool of men that are out there are raised by single mothers just as well as the women. So as much as we have a shitty pool of males who are mostly raised by single mothers, we have a shitty pool of women who were raised by those same single women. But the point, and I get what you're saying, but my point is always this, where I'm trying to come from is there has to be equal accountability. And not saying you, Felicia, but a lot of women tend to focus on the men, the shitty pool of men, which it does exist. I grant it for sure. But a lot of women like to focus on those small percentage of men, which I think is small, because there are a lot of good men. A lot of them are already married. A lot of them are raising their kids. They're living their lives. They picked their women a long time ago and they married and they're taking care of their families. But the men who are not, that seems to have, I've been hearing women say this since I was a child. Men just ain't ish. These men ain't this and it ain't that. But the whole time I'm hearing, and these people in my family too, who are saying this. But while they're saying this, I'm looking at the women in my family and I look who are cheating on their man. These women who are doing all kinds of stuff that they shouldn't be doing, but all the women are team woman. All the women are team girl. Do what you got to do, girl, whatever. While the men are messing up, the women are messing up too. And I think what we've been hearing that men need to level up, men need to do this, men need to do this. And there are a lot of men who have leveled up. There are a lot of men who are doing the right things, but the focus is never on that group of men. Because honestly, a lot of these women don't want those men. They gravitate to the type of men that they've seen in their communities. They gravitate to what a lot of people would call the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? The men with the swag, the handsome men, tall, but they really ain't got much going on. A lot of women would prefer the bad guy. I've been hearing this and seeing this since high school. So a lot of the women are focused on those men. They're not focused on the men who've been planning, and prioritizing a family since they were young and doing the right things. Those men are not looked at. Those women are usually attracted to those men until they get older. When they start getting older, once they've already had their babies and all of that, then they want a good man. But they didn't prioritize that man when they were younger. That man was lame to them. That man was lame to them. And so, but because you didn't care, you're young and you're out here doing whatever you want to do, that lame guy didn't get the attention. But the swag guy, the gangster, whatever, got all the attention, and that's usually who they have the babies by. So, there are men who are productive. The stats say what? I don't know if the numbers have changed. 54% of Black men are childless. And what's they, so they don't have children out of wedlock. They're productive men in society, but those men are not looked at as, because they probably don't look the way these women want them to look. They're not attracted to them. They look like a geek or a nerd or something. They're not attracted to those particular guys. But a lot of times those guys end up being a productive men in society who would want families and wives and take care of them. Those are the ones nobody's looking at. They're looking at, the handsome, guy with the swag. So it's just, if we're going to look at the men, yeah, there's shitty men out here who are not productive. We got to look at the shitty women out here who aren't productive either, because we can't just ignore that they don't exist. They exist, both sides, it exists. All this stuff is happening on both sides, in my opinion. And it's not just an opinion, it's just we see it. It's both sides. It's not just the women and it's not just the men. But what's being portrayed is that it's all the men and the women are somehow perfect. And the women, that's where the accountability comes in. The women don't want to accept the fact that 3 children out of wedlock, 3 baby daddies is unacceptable. It's your life, whoever life that is. If that's your life and that's what you want, fine. But you shouldn't come out and complain that all men are just dusty and deadbeats and don't do nothing when you picked the same type of dude and created babies and you didn't prioritize marriage, a stable man, none of that, and you gave 3 babies to 3 different dudes who are probably all similar, either in jail, or one of them that got shot and passed away, and the other one is nowhere to be found. So if you're picking from that pool of guys and you keep doing that over and over and over, that's not a representative of all, or a representation of all the men that are out here. So my thing is, I always say this: speak on your personal. If you've dealt with men who were deadbeats and did you dirty, speak on the men that you've experienced, because every Black woman is not out here experiencing that. I have not experienced a deadbeat dude who don't take care of his response. I have not, because I've steered away from that. I've seen it close up in person in my family and otherwise, but it's how you choose to. You have to be accountable for your part. While we still acknowledge there are deadbeat ninjas out here, yes, there are, but the women too. They're not all perfect and pristine. They got issues too. Remember, both these women and men were raised in the same households, a lot of them by single mothers. So if they didn't learn, if they didn't have fathers around to teach them, if the mothers didn't teach them nothing, if they're both learning the same things, we got a bit of both. But we got to stop making it seem like it's just the men and it's not the women, because there's some ratchet ass women out here too. Trust me. And they're doing just as dirty as the men, but they know they can get away with it. And the sisterhood is going to make excuses for them, but you don't make excuses for a man. And if we want equality and we're all equal, we got to hold each side accountable for what they make mistakes. And that's it. And learn from it. It's all about a learning experience. You don't want to take accountability. You want to sweep yours under the rug and you want to continue to blame men. That's not going to make women do any better. You're just going to continue to be entitled and unaccountable for your choices. And you got to understand that your choices play a part in all of this too. Both women and men are accountable for the state of the community and what's going on. The deadbeat ones who are just out here screwing women and don't care about putting your seed all over the place, they're accountable for that. That's a problem. But also the women who are open their legs and allowing the men to do it, that's a problem too, because you ain't got to have sex with these bums. If you could call men out as bums now and low downs, I'm just speaking in general, and say that these ninjas ain't this, why are all these women still having sex with these men and giving them babies and then turn around and calling them bums? Well, if he's a bum, you're a representation of that too. You're part of it too, because you open your legs and you laid down with a bum and gave him a baby or several, and you didn't require anything from him. You didn't require him to get a job and be stable and all this stuff that women are requiring now. So what does that make you? You're just as bad as him. So the accountability on the women's side is what's missing and what's lacking, because it allows women to feel like they could do whatever they want. Oh, he got me pregnant. Girl, he can't get you pregnant if you don't open your legs and let him. That's the part that we go back and forth on. Because yes, these dudes ain't stable. That most of them don't have jobs. A lot of these women be taking care of them. So now this is why you see a lot of these women on these videos saying, I know my worth now. I'm no longer taking care of bums. I'm no longer doing this, because you did it with a guy that you gave babies to and you thought he was going to change and do something different. And he's the still same old person he's been. So you got to ask yourself, why am I constantly picking from that pool? Because that's my type. And if that's your type, then that says a lot about you than him. because your type is not the type of guy that you really want. He look good, pleasingly, aesthetically, or whatever. Or he good in bed and he put it on you real good. People, women talk about losing their mind when a dude put it on good. So that's a lot to be said. They say it in a joking way when it's fun and being said in an environment that's acceptable of that. But if we really look at that and say, okay, you had sex with a guy who's attractive. That was your type. He put it on you real good and you lost your mind. Now you taking care of him doing. Now, was he really the type of guy that you should have been giving your body to? Was he really the type of guy, other than his looks and how well he put it on you, which made you lose your mind and just accept everything that he was offering, which was not much? Does that really have a lot to say about him, or both, or you? That means the focus was only on his looks and how he put it on you, nothing else. You didn't have any other requirements. He didn't have anything that he brought to the table that was beneficial to a family. He didn't do anything else besides screw you down good. And he didn't say he was going to provide for you. He didn't say he was going to be a protector. He didn't say he was going to be in a lasting relationship with you. He didn't say he wanted longevity with you or a future with you. He didn't say he wanted a family. He didn't say he wanted to build a house and do this and do all these things and build. He didn't want any of that. But unfortunately, so many women are stuck on the looks, the swag. He got to have this, and you're giving them babies, and then you end up single. You're a statistic, and he to move on. So that's a problem. The mentality of our women and what we look at as attraction or our type for a man is the very thing that's creating the single mother epidemic, and why a lot of these women are complaining, because the men that they're picking is not the type of guys that are ready or prepared for families, longevity, a solid, stable relationship. And so women got to be accountable for that too. If the men are out here shitty men, why these women keep screwing them? Why they keep giving them their time? Why you keep allowing yourself to give your all to a shitty man? That's picking bad. So they got to be accountable. Bottom line. B-Man TV, 60% of Black women between 18 and 40 are single and childless. 60% of Black men. There we go. So the number went up. 60% of Black men between 18 and 40 are single and childless. That says a lot. And what's the percentage of women who are single mothers? That's a high number. So that means once again, like men always stress, is that these women are giving the majority of the children to the small percentage of men who, just giving, they're screwing these men who ain't got much going for themselves. They're complaining about it. Thank you so much for the super chat and the information, B-Man TV. Let's see. Rod. What's going on, Rod?
Hey, DeeDee, how you doing?
I'm good. How you been?
I've been pretty good. Been well. Just wanted to kind of caveat.
Why you not on cam?
You don't see me?
No.
Oh, hold on. I thought I was on cam. Let me. I got a new iPhone, DeeDee. My bad. Let me see.
Okay. You been all right? You been chilling?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. I've been busy. Yeah, but I just wanted to. Well, I'm adjusting my avatar while that should be on it. You see it now?
No.
Okay, let me go back. But I just wanted to say, DeeDee, a lot of these dysfunctional men that these women are complaining about. I'm just responding to the young lady that made the comment. They were raised by their mama, DeeDee, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was one of them. Okay, I was one of them until I went to the military and I got around some real men. And that changed. I thank God for that. But he is your Frankenstein monster. He is. So and I'm not trying to blame the woman, dude. I'm not trying to do that. Okay, but it goes back to nature versus nurture. Certain attitudes, certain behaviors are fostered. Okay, you rear him. Okay, he is your Frankenstein monster. And it's like a lot of these women that they're jumping from a ship that they sank. Okay, it's like you don't poke holes in the ship and you about to jump from the ship. Okay, so I'm not trying to blame women. I'm not, but it goes back further than that. You reared him. Okay, you raised. I mean, he is your that is you. Okay, he is your Frankenstein monster. Okay, he thinks like you. He problem solves like you. He acts like you. Okay, he's emotional like you. Okay, he's been socialized around her. You know, and then I mean, you got an army of these guys now. Okay. And like I said, I'm not trying to talk bad about single mothers. I mean, everybody's situation is different. Okay? I'm not trying to bash them. I'm not. Okay, I get that. No. But what I'm saying is, I don't know what's wrong with my avatar. I'm still trying to fix this thing. But what I'm saying is, you fostered a certain type of environment. You nurtured that. Okay. I mean, you okayed a lot of that stuff. And like I said, and I can speak on it because I was that guy when I was young. And like I said, it took for grown men to go beside my head, okay, and teach me, okay, hey, look, what you're doing is wrong, okay? Or, hey, look, you need to do better. I mean, and this came from men, So I can speak on that. So you can't talk about him without talking about, the person who reared him. Okay, you can't, Yeah, that's like, I mean, that's like Dr. Frankenstein creating a monster, okay, and then, everybody, oh, well, I don't know what happened. Well, no, you made that. You created that. So yeah. But I'm not trying to blame them. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to, turn it into okay with women. But I'm a living witness, DeeDee. I am. I mean, I grew up in a certain type of environment, and it took for men to pull me to the side, say, hey, look, you need to straighten up, So yeah. And also too, DeeDee, like this whole type thing, DeeDee, that's very masculine. Because I do agree one thing Kevin Samuels said a while ago. Women, y'all supposed to be the pretty ones. Y'all supposed to be. Okay. Now I'm not saying, to get with a guy who's unattractive. I'm not saying that. Okay. But as far as aesthetically pleasing, that's supposed to be the woman. But you have women who will pick a guy because girl, he got green eyes. Okay. Oh, he got good hair. Oh, he this. Oh, he like Al B. Sure. Okay. Look. Okay. That's very primal. Okay. Men do that. Okay. A man, I used to select a man, okay, based on what he can produce and provide. Okay. I mean, that's how I look at that. I mean, men, we're producers, So, that's, to me, that's how you're supposed to look at that, really. I mean, as a woman, because like I said, I was watching tonight's conversation, and this woman, she put Derrick Jackson on the spot. Okay. She said, yeah, he's every woman's type. Okay, he's 6 feet tall, muscle down, but he's unfaithful to his wife. I mean, he has already, he's aesthetically pleasing to women, but he has major character flaws. Okay, right. Major character flaws. So there's other things you're supposed to look at as a woman. Really, men, we're the shallow ones. Okay, we're supposed to be the shallow ones. Okay, women, you're supposed to look at it from, okay, well, what type of man is he? Okay.
Right.
Does he have character? Okay. Is he a provider? Okay. If we get married and we have, is he responsible? Or, is he, willing to, to go the extra mile? Things like that.
Yeah. Basically, is he going to be the type that wants a family? Does he want marriage? Does he want to be with you? Does he want a stable? These are the questions that should be asked, because if a man is wanting those things and he want you, then that's what he's going to provide. If he's somebody who doesn't want children and, he's just looking to have a good time and be friends with you, we just chill, then that's not a situation that's going to be conducive to healthy long-term relationships. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times, unfortunately, and even women I know in real life, people close to me, I talked about it before, they're picking for the wrong reasons. Oh, he got to know how to dress. He got to be fine. He got to be this. He got to be 6 feet tall. He got to have this. He got to have that. And then if you were to get in a relationship with him, he doesn't have the qualities that you really want for a stable, lasting relationship. He's not responsible. He's not, he don't want to provide. He don't want to provide for you. He don't want to provide for no kids, or he got a kid and he's not taking care of that child. Like, there's a lot of the things that I would tell young women to look for when they're looking for a stable relationship with a man. It's not just about, like you said, it's not just about how fine he is. And of course, attraction is important, but how important is it really, especially when you are, so I think a lot of people, and look, men do this too. Men and women do this. I know, because you know I talked about this before, how men, I asked y'all this question. Look, what would you prefer? Would you take a woman who's not, you know, that great in looks, but she has all of the qualities that men say they want? And some men say, no, you know, well, I gotta have this and have that. But if you sometimes if you find a woman who have those qualities you really prefer, she's lacking in other areas. So are you comfortable with that? Is it enough to where you can still pursue her and be with her, or is it a deal breaker? So I think on both sides that is true, because sometimes people take superficial over the real important things that they really want, and then complain about it later. So
Well, yeah,
that's why I always ask that.
well, that's true, DeeDee. I see it firsthand. Like I said, I mean, you see it in your family. I see it in my family. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm not trying to put them on the spot, but I've women in my family. You know, somebody real close to me. You know, the men that would have treated her right, who would have married her, she rejected them, DeeDee. You know, and she then and hooked up with the street dude. Okay, because he had swag, or he was exciting, or he had or he got tattoos and stuff like that. And then that same guy, DeeDee, you know, after she got pregnant, you know, didn't want to do her the baby, you know.
Right.
So now that she's trying to hunt him down, well, I ain't gonna say the first name, but I mean, now she's trying to hunt him down to get him to pay child support, DeeDee, you know. So,
Wow.
you know, that's, I mean, and like I said, that guy, DeeDee, that I just described, he was raised by a single mom, because I know who he
Right.
is, you know. His mom, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, his mama taking his big sorry self, okay? So, you
Mm-hmm.
know, she reared him. I mean, this is a grown man, DeeDee, I mean, 40 plus years old, his mother's still taking care of him. And see, you know, she fostered that. And she's still doing it to this very day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm not trying to blame the woman, DeeDee, I'm just saying, you know,
Right.
I'm just showing you, you know, where the source of his dysfunction lies, okay? Because,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I mean, I know two guys that would have married her. I mean, great guys, had great jobs, you know, but they were boring. Okay, they were boring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she chose someone else. Okay, you know, and I mean, somebody who's irresponsible. Okay, you know, lied about having a job. Okay, lied to her about a bunch of stuff, and now, I mean, she's stuck raising, you know, a son by herself. And I hate to
Mm-hmm.
say it, if no one grabs a hold of her son, he's gonna be, you know, the same thing. He's gonna be like
Right.
that.
All
So
right.
yeah, but yeah, DeeDee, but yeah, it's like a never-ending cycle. And like I said, I'm not trying to blame women because that's the first thing they, oh, you blame the woman. No, I mean, I'm showing you, you know, where the origin of his dysfunction lies, where it came from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Successful MD says, question, what's the difference between a muscular man that wears a suit versus a muscular man that wears skinny jeans? I don't know. Thank you for the super chat. B Man says, you would think after the current results today in relationships, they would be stating physical, but character. I think I get what you're trying to say, B Man TV. Thank you so much for the super chat. Um, Industrial Dave, I'll give you a few minutes. I gotta get out of here. What's
Oh
your
yeah,
thoughts on this?
yeah. I'll just respond to the last few things you said. I know you're ready to go.
Yeah,
You have to, as adults, you have to be wise and know your catch. I think that's the basis of it. If you know that you don't like big women or you like tall dudes, you have to stick with that. Everything is, whatever you do, it's always going to be a give and a take. So I think if people will learn what their absolute give is and what their take is, they would be a lot better off. You know, like, you know what? I definitely know that I don't want a woman who is overweight. Or if a woman's like, you know what? I really like him, but he's short. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to deal with that, because if you don't, it'll be problems along the lines where it has nothing to do with their character. It's that, man, I'm just not attracted to this guy.
well,
That
yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
that's what we see. We see people are solely. Well, I mean, we watched the Pop the Balloon show where they're everybody doing it though, men and women, honestly. Like they're popping the balloon before they
Absolutely.
even hear anything about the person. I thought you're supposed to be able to hear something about the person. It's just going solely off of the look or what of your jeans, how tight your pants are, or your hair, or your hat. Like, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Like, I mean, you could. Those are things you could change. You could loosen your pants up. You could take the hat off. I mean, so it's to the point now. It's so superficial to the things that you have to realize that the things that people are looking for is unrealistic, and this is why so many people will end up just by themselves because They're looking for things that shouldn't even matter.
And it shows
Yep.
you, the mindset of people too, DeeDee. It really does. It
Yeah.
shows you just that the mindset, just how strange people are. You got a woman with 3 baby daddies, and you complain about a man jeans. Man,
Yeah.
get out of
That's
here.
crazy to
Yeah.
me. I mean, he could have
Yeah.
been a good catch. You don't know. Those jeans were too tight. Oh well, you out.
Yeah, but even what you said earlier is, unfortunately, men and women both,
Yeah.
they're taught to pick for the wrong reasons. Like
Mhm.
us as men, when we're younger, if like even my mom, I remember my mom, I was raised by a single mother and my grandfather in the same house, and my mom always comes from a Christian family background. She always told me, stay away from the hood rats, stay away from the hood rats. I
Mhm.
never knew why, but that's all I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Was a hood rats. But, thankfully I did, you know,
That's what
and
you want.
right. Yeah. And then vice versa
The
is
hood
like,
rat's fun.
the girls want to go for the bad boy. It's not
Yeah.
until later, I couldn't get a girl for the life of me to kind of talk to me. Like I was that kid in middle school. I always got that little box that said, "Do you like me?" I always got the maybe. That was me. I
Oh.
always got maybe.
Oh.
Or it would say, "Oh, you funny." Like that was
Oh.
me. I always got that, and I got used to it. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying?
Oh. Okay.
So you, man, y- people are shallow. Like even me. Like
Yeah.
I take mine on the chin. You know what I'm saying? Like I am
Right.
5 foot
Right.
4. That's it. I know that I'm short, right? But
Right.
hey, I don't know if females don't want to talk to me for the most part, which they want a tall guy. I can't get mad at it. Like I was born this way, so
Right.
I take it on the chin and I have no problem with it. And it's funny because I love tall women, but the whole like, oh, I don't like him because of his genes or whatever, like that stuff that's where our society is, man, and it's just
Yeah. It's
it's
crazy.
terrible.
We
Yep.
Yeah.
also did, like I said, these men and women, we're just different. And I think one of the issues that we have, and I said this before, you can't measure men and women by the same rule. We're different. Like men, a man, I mean, we're turned on visually. Okay, we are. Okay, a man, we're just visual. Like the mistake I made. Okay, when I first, well, I ain't gonna say mistake. When I met my first wife, when I was married at 21, got married at 22. All I seen was light skin and bow legs and a big behind and green eyes. Okay, that's all I seen. Okay, and I said I got to talk to that. But I didn't. But I didn't think about character. I didn't think about what type of mother she. I didn't think about any of that.
Right.
I just looked at the aesthetics as a man. And
Yeah.
most men do that. Most men do that. And a lot of times too,
Yeah.
men, we mistake beauty for virtue. We do. We mistake that. You think she's
Mm.
pretty.
Mhm.
Oh, she's this and that. No, I mean, pretty girls, they the worst, DeeDee. They are. I mean, it just, they I call it pretty girl BS. That's what I call it because it's always something. It's always like, okay, well, you're supposed to worship me. Okay, you supposed to do this to me. You supposed after a while, did it, you get tired of it as a message. Look, I'm tired of this. Look, I'm doing all this and I ain't get nothing in return. So I
Yeah.
wind it down. I wind it down you for a little bit of sex. No, I'm cool. That's not it's not worth it. It ain't. Because you
Yeah.
know you're constantly catering to her. Okay, you're constantly doing stuff. Okay, doing this, doing that. Okay, it's like, okay. Well, what am I getting back? What am
Right.
I getting back in return? And she's on the recipient end of it. Okay, because she loves it. She loves dating. Okay, because she's getting the gifts. She's getting all this stuff. It's like, man,
Mhm.
I'm tired of this. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a bit much.
Right. I
I mean,
couldn't imagine.
yeah. So it's like, what do you get back in return? I mean, and don't say sex. I mean, because that's that gets tiresome after a while. What
Right.
is there outside of that? So yeah.
Okay. A real Leo, real quick. What's your take? Because I gotta get out of here. I got a few minutes.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
hey
How you
Diddy, take
doing?
care.
Take care, Dave. I appreciate you.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am.
Yes, I can hear you. How you
All
doing?
right, good, good. And yourself?
Good. Good. What's your thoughts?
Listen, man, I commend you for the work you're doing, and I am
Thank you.
hoping a lot more women start doing this. I'm serious,
Yeah.
man. Like, I gotta give a shout out again to Kevin Samuels, man.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that came up behind that
Hmm.
movement. Um,
Yep.
but to be honest, man, I want to see a lot more women doing this work right here. Like, you got your Pink Book lessons, you got
Hmm.
yourself, and your Crimson Cures and those type of women that are like standing 10 toes down, because that sisterhood wall of silence is something serious. It is. It is.
It is.
It affects. It's like I tell my wife too. I be telling her like it's like they're drinking a type of juice. We don't know what the juice is, but it has
the mystery juice, child.
it has all, like a lot, the majority. I ain't gonna say all, but the majority of our women are like, yo, they're dumbfounded by it, and for some reason they like being comfortable in that setting of the no accountability. I don't know why, but that no accountability thing is like a virus, and it's affecting our community. So, you know, yeah, good work you're doing, for real.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, and once again, I say it all the time. Accountability, you know, Kevin Samuel said it was like kryptonite. Because it's like, you don't see, accountability means you have to change something. You have to acknowledge that there's a problem. And if you don't want to acknowledge that there's a problem, then that means you don't want to change it because you are comfortable there and you don't want to do anything differently from what you've been doing because maybe it's beneficial to you or that's just all you know and you don't want to change. Accountability requires change.
It does.
But if you're not willing to do that, how are you still out here complaining about your circumstances and complaining about men, but you don't want to do anything to change your part? So why do you think men put all the pressure on the men to change if you don't want to change? That's not conducive, in my opinion, to a lasting relationship. And honestly, I think a lot of married people get it. And not just married people, but I think people who've been married, there's something consistent with people who have been married 10, 15, 20 years, 30, 40 years. I know people older, they all say the same things because it's worked for them. It's working. The majority of the people who are single and it's not working for are the ones who have the most opinions about relationships when they're not even successful in it.
Facts.
Which you got to think about that. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but to me, experience is the best teacher. When you go through something, you have something to say. You get people like to talk about if you're spiritual, the test and the testimony. You've been through something, you have a testimony because you have gone through it. You've come out on the other side, and now you can give your testimony to what you've been through. But the majority of people, they got young people out here, 20 and 21, who've never probably been in real serious relationships, have never been in a stable relationship for any amount of time. They are the most vocal about what they think what makes a relationship work and how it should be and what men should be and what women shouldn't be or should be when you haven't even had the experience.
Ain't that something?
But that's who people are listening to.
No, it's true. It's true. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I've been married for 23 years. And me and
congratulations.
my wife, thank you. Me and my wife, we went through all kinds of different eras of relationships as far as seeing other people and how they move. And we saw the progressive, well, I would say the decline really in our community when it came to the gender war. And my wife kind of realized how much it was affecting her too because of the background that she came from and my background as well. You know, so you see that, and we became so relaxed with the Pookies and the Bonquishas that is like we're starting to say, okay, yeah, that small percentage of man right there is the reason why this majority of single family households are being produced, and these women out here are not holding themselves accountable for opening their legs, man. Like they grant the access. Let's call it what it is. You know? And
my body, my choice.
Exactly. In my mind, that's the saying. They like saying that, so you gotta stand on that.
And so, like, but when you make that choice, somehow it's not your fault. It's his fault. You just fell on him. You fell on you fell on him and got pregnant, and or he
fell on the sword. That's why I say he fell on the sword.
And he made you. He got you pregnant. You had nothing to do with it. That's what you hear. He got me pregnant. All the men are getting these women pregnant. Well, if you don't allow him to do that, if you wait and not put yourself in that predicament and try to find stable men and try to do it the right way, maybe you wouldn't find yourself in that situation. And it's not to say that it's okay, because I try to keep it balanced. It's not okay and acceptable for men who are that way, but at the same time, we know this. This is what we hear. We hear we hear the women loud and clear saying men are horrible and they're this and that. And it is. You shouldn't be out here just spreading your seed all over the place as a
No,
man.
you shouldn't be. You shouldn't.
You
Now,
need,
you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be. But that's how women make the dating market. That's how they made it now. They made it to where, I mean, okay, well, hey,
well, if
guys,
you allowing it, that's what I'm saying. You know that those men exist. So, but why are you catering to the dysfunction? Why are you saying, oh, they out here looking for just sex, but you're giving it to them? You're opening your legs and giving it to them. Why don't you say, nah, no, let me get to know you. I'm not giving you nothing until I get to know you and see if you want a relationship, if we on the same type of time. But instead, I'm free and I'm empowered to be sexually free. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And then the consequences happen, and now it's just his fault. No, you have to be accountable too. That's my argument. Own up to your part in it. That's all I'm saying, because I think it does women an injustice to pretend like they had no part in it and it's just all the men when it's something you don't have to do.
So I got a question for you.
To Miss
When he's done, I got a question for you.
To Miss Lucy Gray, she said successful MD, y'all are pookies, majority of y'all. Now this is a woman who's married. I'm trying to understand. I mean, is your husband a pookie? I mean, because
hold on. Let me read this real quick. Then I read for successful MD says maybe all black men should just be pookies. Then it will be a win-win. There will be plenty of swag and unwed babies. Hashtag complaints gone. Thank you, successful Felicia. She says younger people need to leave this BS gender war to the men of old, or however that saying goes. You see where they went wrong, go and do better, because they're not leaving you an inheritance. Be easy. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Felicia.
Okay.
Now what you saying?
No, I was curious to know. I mean, is her husband a pookie? Because it's like, she's saying the most men are pookies. It says successful MD, said y'all are pookies. Majority of y'all are merely adjustable pookies, And I don't get that. I mean, you have a woman who's married, a happily married woman, okay, going back and forth with black men that she's not going to ever meet, okay? So I don't understand. I'm just trying to figure that out, I don't get that, because I see women like her all the time, I mean, they're married, okay, but you online complaining about pookies. I mean, talking about, oh you black men are this, y'all are this and that. I'm still thinking, well, ain't you married? I mean, shouldn't you be able to be with your husband? But instead, you making videos to comment to black men. I don't get that. I mean, so just, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
Some people can actually be married and still on that. They still on the opposite end of the whole spectrum. They still seeing things like they're modern and they're not understanding they're in a traditional mindset. A traditional setting.
Some brother that's funny to me, because you have, I mean, you have women who are divestors and whatnot, okay, and they're married to their bread, okay, but they up at 3:00 in the morning making videos to black men. I don't get that. It's like, your husband laid in the bed, okay, and you on the computer making videos. I mean, that don't make sense. I know if I was married to, I'm like, well, wait a minute now. I mean, why you giving all your energy to these black men that you don't like? Okay, it's 3:00 in the morning. You're making videos to black men. See, that's what I don't get. I mean, it's just strange to me. So now I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Really, what was your question?
Oh yeah, my question for you was, do you think that, I don't want to get political on you or nothing like that, right? But I got to. So do you feel like the Democrat Party is like the policies that they got contribute to the downfall of black women in a sense? Really all women, to be honest with you.
Yes,
you really want to be honest.
I agree. Yep.
I think
but
so. We, how it goes. We're considered at the bottom of the whole spectrum. So you think it really is affecting us in this matter?
I do. I mean, I'm not into politics like that, but I mean, if I'm thinking about policies or the structure or the, I guess the laws that are in place that were put in, I mean, that's kind of tricky, because I mean, if we go back, weren't the welfare and all of that, wasn't that put in place by who? Was that a Democrat in office, or was that Republican?
I think that was Republican. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so. And what's his name? My husband knows all of this stuff. I mean, so I don't know. That's a trigger. Maybe somebody but I mean, a lot of welfare and all that was, I'm not sure what year when it's placed. Somebody could probably tell me in the comments. But it was, I think that was under Republican rule, if I'm not mistaken, to give welfare to help help individuals and stuff. But I don't know. I definitely think society, I mean, and part of the government in general has put things in place that actually have kind of stifled black women. I don't think it looked as if it was put in place as a help, but it kind of stifled them and gave them this part of this
Kind of a sense of
entitlement.
liberalism, a sense of liberalism. They don't have
Yeah,
no authority over them, so they can, as long as
right,
there's no man around, they can do whatever they want, act however they
right,
want to act, and say or dress or whatever the case may be. There was no kind of authoritative figure in the household, and I think
right.
that's where we went wrong as a people. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
definitely
So
played a major part. Somebody said Lyndon B. Johnson. Yes, I think it was Lyndon
mhm,
B. Johnson. And also, so yeah, I think it definitely played a part. We have documentaries and of women, young women, black women saying they don't need a
yeah, I
man
saw that.
because they are, they give them, a housing, you give
Hmm.
them, public money, food stamps, and all of this stuff. To me, look, I was raised in it. My mother received it, until we got old enough to where we wasn't acceptable in it anymore. So I saw it used as a crutch. A lot of times these women get comfortable there, and like somebody mentioned before, it was as a means for temporary assistance, not something that you should be living off your entire life. So they
Absolutely.
tend to, it's to me it stifles their growth. They don't want to do anything. They become entitled for sure, as if
Hmm.
that is something that they deserve, and they're supposed to help you. And so that mindset continues, and you just sit there and you don't do anything else much. You don't want a man because you don't think you need him because you got a place to stay, even if the place is horrid. If it's the projects, they're shooting violence. I've seen it growing up, and that wasn't a place I was comfortable with being. But what else could I do as a kid? So you gotta,
Hmm.
and I think to me, part of the reason why I am the way I am and went a whole different route is because I didn't want that lifestyle. I didn't want to be no
I
single
feel
mother.
you.
I didn't want to be raised in the hood in the projects with my kid. No, my kids have a totally different lifestyle. So,
Hmm.
so I've talked about, but I gotta go. Oh, Palmer. Palmer, what's going on, Palmer? That's my boy. What's up,
What's
Palmer?
the word,
How
gang?
you been?
I've been missing in action. I'm at the job right now.
Oh
What's
my
that?
God, you been all right?
Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing?
Good, good. Nice to
What's
see
up?
you
What's
up here. I
up?
ain't seen you in a while, but I gotta get out of here. But go ahead if you want to say something real quick. But I'm gonna have to get off here. But go ahead if you want to say something.
I think I tapped in too late. I was really trying to see what was going on, but I don't want to hold up the live if y'all getting out. But like it was good to tap in, but I wanted to see what was
Yeah.
going on.
Well, I'm glad you popped up. You gotta come on more. I miss the old crew. Y'all need to get it together, ride and all y'all need to come back up.
I got you. I'm gonna tap in though.
You want to say something, Palmer, or you gonna you gonna go?
Nah, I'm gonna go on here and let you go. I
All
thank
right.
you for filling me up. All right, y'all have a good one.
You too. Take care, Palmer. I
Peace.
appreciate you. Any final words, y'all? Cause I gotta go. I
No, I
hate
ain't
to go,
gonna.
but I gotta go.
I ain't gonna hold you up. I would
What?
like to do
Uh,
this. Come by
have a
another
good
time
one.
on your platform.
Yeah,
At
sure. I
some point.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
Yes,
the
sir.
conversation. Definitely pop up. Usually I'm on here Tuesdays and Fridays. I'm gonna try to incorporate another day. I don't know what day that is yet. But Tuesdays and Fridays for sure, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm usually up here.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Take care. Be safe.
All right, you as well.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Thank y'all once again for being here. I appreciate y'all. Somebody say, DeeDee, have you heard from Maverick? I have not heard from Maverick. Maverick, if you're watching, pop up. How are you? I hope you're doing well. But I haven't heard from him, but hopefully he's doing good. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate everybody's super chats, everybody who contributes to the platform, everybody who gave a super chat, cash app, or commented, liked, subscribed, uh, in memberships. I appreciate you guys for that support because it definitely helps the channel out. Make sure you continue to support the channel by watching the videos that are already posted. You guys go over, watch the video, like the video, share the video even if you can, and that definitely helps your girl out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna try to add another day of live streams if you guys want that. Somebody asked me to go live another day. I may go ahead and do that. Who knows? I may pop up here tomorrow. I'll just leave that open because I don't want to commit to it and then I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So every Tuesday and Fridays, 1:15 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you guys have your notification bell turned on and continue to support the channel. So thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe out here in the streets. Till next time. Mwah. I'll see you later. Bye.